million. Bill Walton, after missing 58 games of the season, is slowly transforming San Diego into his kind of basketball team. Today, Walton draws the man who has transformed Milwaukee into a legitimate championship contender, Big Bob Lanier. Coming up on CBS.
The NBA on CBS is sponsored by Light Beer, everything you always wanted in a beer and less. Sylvania, makers of Superset Color TV and a complete line of home entertainment products. And by Tegrin Medicated Shampoo. With regular use, Tegrin helps control even problem dandruff.
From the sports arena in San Diego, California, it's the Clippers against the red-hot Milwaukee Bucks. Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Brent Musburger. Again, a pleasure to be with Bill Russell and Hot Rod Hundley. Bill, what about the matchup between the two centers?
Well, it's going to be very interesting. Bill Walton is really starting to get in shape pretty well, and Bob Lanier is just getting used to playing with this team, although he's helped him a lot in the games he's been there. But the two teams are so different in style.
And they are ready to go.
They're so different.
Let's take a look at the lineups as we get this game underway now. With Milwaukee trailing by 2.5 games, they'll start Myers, Marques Johnson, Lanier, Winters, and Buckner for head coach Don Nelson. And for Gene Shoes Clipper, Wicks, Nader, Walton, Taylor, and Free were ready to go. Rakel and Crawford are the referees. It'll be Lanier and Walton.
One quick thing, Brent, you can notice they'll start Nader up front. Now, he's a center. They've moved him to a forward. And with Walton, Sidney Wicks up front, that means Sidney will be playing the small forward in this game, and he's about 6'8" or 9".
Bill, what about the styles of these two teams that we're about to watch here?
Well, they're so different. That's what I was going to allude to, in the fact that Milwaukee is really playing a team game, but San Diego is individual styles, free spirits. Now, Gene Shoes' philosophy is that you can take one-on-one players, use their skills at different parts of the game, and in a sense play a team game. But it's the one problem you have is that you usually get a lot of jump shots, and your transition from offense to defense usually bothers you a lot when you play one-on-one basketball.
Marques Johnson hit the field goal, turns it over, and Quinn Buckner goes and gets it back now for Don Nelson's Bucks. What a story is being written in Milwaukee. Bob Lanier, formerly of Detroit, cross to Marques, who hits Brian Winters, a marvelous shooter. Walton with the rebound, and there's the great pass. Free was lurking back.
Beautiful play. And Walton, that's his strong suit. Get that rebound, and he gets it out quickly. And perfect baseball feed down court. Lloyd Free for the layup.
San Diego dueling Portland for that final playoff spot in the Western Conference. They lead the Blazers by just a percentage point coming into this action. Here's Lanier, sets marvelous picks, rebounds, good outside shooter, came up and drew the foul on Brian Taylor. Now there's a story about Taylor. He has missed 4 games because of an Achilles problem in his leg. He brings speed to this Clipper team, something that they do not have. And here is Bob Lanier. What about his style, Bill Russell? How's he compare with Kareem and Chamberlain and all the great big men?
Well, he's not on a level with those guys, but he's close, I would say. Now, what he does very well, he scores very well. He's an excellent shooter. He probably has one of the better free throw shooting percentages of the big guys. He's a good rebounder, he's a good passer. But what's most important now, what he's doing for Milwaukee, is he's giving them leadership from the center position.
And like Bill Russell, a natural left-hander. We're going to talk about that in a short time because it could make a difference. Back to Brian Taylor, a three-pointer short off the iron. He runs it down. And there it's Marques Johnson, marvelous athletic skills. With the rebound to Brian Winters of the Bucks. The penetrated shot is in, and the Bucks go up 6-2 right now against the team of free spirits Bill Russell has described.
Now, what Bill Walton is doing, as you saw in that first rebound he got, that pass, the quick outlet pass, that makes a good rebounder effective. A lot of guys can get the number of rebounds, but what you do with it really changes things. And what he does with the ball when he gets a rebound is he's a great passer.
Here's a play again on the Lanier trying to get around to the side of him as Walton trying to jockey for position. The ball comes in. That's really rough action. Watch Lanier keep him away from the board on the shot. Good blocking out by Bob Lanier.
Free driving, threw up a prayer. Ball goes out of bounds. and it'll stay with the Clippers.
I still got to marvel at Sidney Wicks, the job he's going to have to do if they keep with this lineup. He's been accustomed to playing big forwards. All of a sudden, now he's got to play small people, and he's got to guard Marques Johnson.
Walton using the glass as he likes to do. Marques losing control. Ball goes out of bounds, and so for the third time, the Clippers will get. I'll tell you something about Sidney Wicks. With his body, all his life, he should have rebounded better than he has in the NBA. A big disappointment in that regard. Walton on the turnaround. The battle for the rebound. A big Swinnator into the UCLA Stars up with that jump hook. Fine shot.
You know, another thing about Wicks, his point average over the past 8 years has dropped every year. It's down to 7 points a game, and he's a perfect physical specimen, but he just hasn't been scoring or rebounding, as you mentioned, Brent.
Brent on rebounding like a guy like Sidney Wicks. The reason he has not been a good rebounder, someone say, looking at his physical capabilities, rebounding is as much lateral movement as anything. Most people don't realize, that's a great pass. Most people don't realize that rebounding is lateral movement as much as vertical movement.
So it's not just the big jumpers.
Right, or it's not just strength, it's timing and being at the right place.
Also concentration, and just like on a pass there, Free made a perfect pass. Wicks wasn't concentrating, and he fumbled the ball.
Bucks come down on the attack, and it's Marques Johnson short. Nader's got the open man. Again, it's Free lurking. Milwaukee will have to work on that. Free is coming off as soon as the shot is taken at this end.
Buckner and Winters, one of the two, have got to get back. Anytime a shot goes up, one has to be back, because Free will release, as he did on that play every time if you don't get back.
Milwaukee beat the Lakers in overtime. Highlights of that game coming up at halftime. Wait till you see the three-pointer by Magic Johnson that sent it into OT for the Lakers, and then it was the Bucks. 10-2 since the arrival of Lanier. Marques with strength came up and drew the foul. He was just pressuring his way in.
Now what Milwaukee's going to have to do, if they're going to stop the fast breaks like that with Lloyd Free, because at this point with Nader and Walton, they got a strong rebounding team. Both of them are excellent rebounders and good outlet passes. The way you stop that is you have to get Free involved in the defense. In other words, you got to send his man under the basket. If he doesn't guard him, then his man should be shooting the layups. And if his man's shooting the layups, then he can't be out there taking off cherry picking.
Cherry picking.
You know what that means. You know what that means.
Yeah.
Look at the UCLA matchups out here. Marques Johnson against Sidney Wicks. On the other side, David Myers against Swinnator. Walton's in the middle. We got a sixth UCLA player on the Milwaukee bench, Richard Washington. He'll see some action here today. Brian Taylor now to inbounds for Gene Shue. Lob from Free. Goes to the big redhead. Likes to pass and dish. Taylor. San Diego.
Great pass.
He gives him another dimension, too. Taylor back in that lineup because he's an excellent shooter and he can hit that three-point range shot.
San Diego does not cut as well as Portland used to do. Watch that on the attack when we come down. Our cameraman will give you a good view of that. This is not the Bill Walton offense that you remember, not yet. Left-handed hook shot. Tell me about the left hand now. Why did you think you had an edge with it?
Because a left-handed defensive player, your hand is right on the right-handed shooter's hand without you going across his body or across your body. And so it's easier because you're closer to the ball.
Big Bill Walton just got one back with a jump shot. That was with his right hand.
Using the glass, as so many of John Wooden's players do. Brian Winters, great offensive threat. Hanging up in there, former star out of South Carolina. And now it's Lloyd Free for the Clippers. It's 11-10. Got one cooking here in San Diego. Free coming up on Winters, and there was an offensive foul called by Reichel.
We'll look at it again. Winters had the good position. Lloyd tries to fake him right, go back left. He'll change hands right there. Go into the air. Winters right there at established position. Contact forced by Free. Charging foul.
Kansas City a winner this afternoon. Many of you watched that. 94-91. And so now Milwaukee trails by 2.5. Don Nelson and the Bucks are confident that they can overhaul Cotton Fitzsimmons before it's over. On the drive, it's Lanier, drew the foul coming across the lane.
See what he did there, Brad? He took that big, long stride on the end of the shot, Lanier, as he went past Walton. I think Bill was going to anticipate him going straight up, and that time he leaned away from him and got the shot away to draw the foul.
Be prepared to see Walton leave, even if the Clippers are playing well, because he missed the 58 games with the foot problem. Gene Shue has been taking him out about 6 minutes into the first period when I scouted them against Kansas City. Seems to be automatic to give Walton the rest. whether or not the team is playing well. Then we'll see Nader come into the pivot and look for a player by the name of Marvin Barnes to come off a Shoes bench. What a story he is. Shoes trying to transform him. As Russell says, he loves the free spirits. There, Nader put it down with a good move on Lanier. Missed the shot, and Bob is off with the rebound, and here's Marques. Winters, left baseline. And it's Marques Johnson skying and missing. Off comes the Walton pass. A little bit too high for Taylor.
But he's getting that ball out without coming down, and that's the key. Getting that ball out when you get a defensive rebound and get that ball on the move.
One thing you look for, Brent, Milwaukee with Walton and the other guy, Nader, up. If one's high, they'll switch them in defensively. Lanier will move back or up top.
You know, in our job, we use signs all the time.
This means bunt.
Well, that's good, Dick, but this means steal.
Not bad, Whitey, but this means give us a light beer from Miller.
Well, you know, light has a third less calories than their regular beer, and it's less filling.
Whitey, this means light tastes great.
Hey, partner, you can say that again.
I think I will.
Light beer from Miller. Everything you always wanted in a beer, and less.
Not for 1 year, or even for 2, but for 3 years in a row. One 19-inch color TV has challenged America's biggest sellers, RCA and Zenith. And every year, independent surveys show the Sylvania Superset, the clear winner for best overall color picture. Isn't it time you found out why Sylvania keeps winning and winning and winning? The Sylvania Superset. We may not be the biggest, but a lot of people think we've got the best picture.
That's Coach Johnson. He's from the college. Looks like he's worried about his problem dandruff. I wish he'd ask me.
Mr. Owens, I need a shampoo.
Ever tried Tegrin?
Can it really work on my itching and flaking?
Well, in a national survey, 3 out of 4 dermatologists judged Tegrin's medication effective in fighting even problem dandruff.
I'll give it a tryout.
Hey, how's that dandruff problem?
Tegrin's a winner, Mr. Owens.
Prove it to yourself. Tegrin works.
Last year, Larry Nelson won the Inverary Classic. Next Saturday and Sunday, see who takes the title this year. You'll say, you saw it on CBS Sports.
Irv Levin, the owner of the San Diego Clippers, right there on the left, putting on his glasses, shelled out that $1 million a year right there for Bill Walton.
You know, the reason Gene Shue has to rest Bill Walton is most people don't realize what tremendous condition you have to be in to play a 48-minute game in this league. And so Bill Walton has missed over a year. It takes a long time to get back in the condition to play this kind of game.
Marvin Barnes, a bad boy, bad reputation. To talk to Marvin, on the surface, he seems like a pleasant young man, and Gene Shue said, I'm going to give him another shot. Now, what he wants Marvin to do is to rebound and play some defense. There he was with Myers. He says, I don't want an offensive player. And I said, what if Barnes won't listen to you? He always liked to shoot. He said, then he'll be gone, and I doubt if another coach will give him a chance in this league. So here he is. We'll get a chance to watch him. Number 27, Marvin Barnes. Sidney Wicks is behind Nader, and he's going to be right on.
And a beautiful screen set by Nader. Put his elbows out and held his position, and that freed Wicks for the shot.
Don Nelson's out there with his 5 starters. Loose. Wicks going down after it. Touch last by Milwaukee. It goes over to the Clippers. We got a tie game and 6:18 to go. Now the Clippers were bickering amongst themselves at a game in the Chicago Stadium, actually yelling out on the floor. Bingo Smith has not played since. He took out after Gene Shue, and on this team, no one questioned Shue's leadership. He is in control. Free. Now, one of the things I want to take a look at before this game is over, the foul is on Winters, but I'll tell you, Lloyd Free goes up, and the foot will come out one way and the other arm. Hot Rod, he's fouling that man frequently, but he'll get the call.
He does it probably as well as anybody in the league, and he turns that right foot in when he goes for that jump shot, and he can get up so high for a guard. Winters was off balance and fell into him to get the foul.
Celtics big win over Detroit because Philly, I think, was a winner likewise. That was last. No, that's today, so they split. Knicks win last night. Now they fall 1 under 500. There's the Philly score. So Philly and Boston both win, keep on dueling in the Atlantic Division. Lanier out far from the basket, and he has good range. You have to respect him. Myers jump pass inside, and a great cut by Quinn Buckner.
Excellent pass by David Myers.
That's hard to do, too, when you're in the air. He wanted to take a shot in the last second. He changed and spotted Buckner for the layup.
Free with a clear out, backing in on Winters. Jumps it across to Brian Taylor. And did you see Marques Johnson fly out to influence that shot? Buckner's got a man. It's Marques. Marques goes in a little bit too far and then comes outside with the reverse.
The trainer of Milwaukee, Jeff Snedeker, said that Marques Johnson is the best athlete he's ever seen. And he worked with Joe Namath in football, Pele in soccer. He's been in several sports. That's quite a tribute to Marques Johnson.
Nader put it down against Lanier. Almost lost it too, Bill. Buckner from the right, over the top with inside to Johnson. Great timing.
Now these two teams, another thing in contrast in style is the bulk of the scoring for the San Diego comes from the guards. The Milwaukee tries to work the ball inside and out, and what I mean by inside and out, they go down deep, and when the defense sags, then they go out to the guards.
And it was free work in the back door on the outside lob pass by Swin Nader. Buckner off and out of Johnson.
They're not very happy. They thought Winters walked with the ball. He took a couple of steps and got away with it.
Buckner shooting better than ever this year. Coming back from a leg injury. That slowed up the Bucks about a month ago. Bucks lead it by a field goal. Both teams have shot well.
Look back at this play a moment ago. The lob pass going right underneath the Marques. He comes down with it and lays it up, going by the basket. Here's the alley-oop to Lloyd Free. Faking left, getting behind Winters, cut the ball up high, laid it right off the glass. Very dangerous man, Lloyd Free.
Junior Bridgman is out there, hot rod. He scored 35 points against Phoenix. Milwaukee beat Phoenix in Phoenix and Los Angeles in the Forum. Been able to win on the road. They've lost only to Atlanta and San Antonio by a total of 3 points since Lanier came to the team from Detroit.
We got 3 seconds in the lane.
3-second violation against David Myers. It goes to the Clippers.
You're speaking of Junior Bridgman. Don Nelson, the coach of Milwaukee, says he's the best sixth man in basketball.
M.L. Carr begs to differ.
And Bobby Gross in Portland. There's quite a few of them.
Sidney looks in deep. Taylor comes through the tunnel now, and it's Nader. Lanier will have to respect that jump hook. This time he goes to the turnaround for the baseline, and there was Wicks underneath battling for that rebound, but he was up over the cylinder.
And he also got the body into Junior Bridgman, so he'll be caught for the loose ball foul. You look at it again, he kind of shoved him out as he goes up for the rebound. Watch Nader turn on the baseline, take the shot. Here's Wicks pushing in as Bridgman had position inside. There, the body contact. Foul to Wicks. Good call.
Bill, one thing, Lanier can't really out-muscle Nader that much, can he? Swin's big, tough Dutchman.
Well, you know, in fact, Lanier, although he's very strong, most of his offense is due to finesse. He's a finesse player, although he does use a little strength, but his key is he has good lateral movement for a big guy. He has very good lateral movement. Not so much he jumps so high or he muscles guys. He has good lateral movement, as demonstrated by that shot earlier that he took over Walton when he took that extra long step on the hook shot.
Battle underneath. Lanier is right there with the two, and it's going to go to the Bucks.
Well, one thing, San Diego's battling the offensive board pretty good.
Pat Cummings checks in. Fine rookie.
Watch this rebounding inside. Lanier pushing Nader out of the way. And then coming up with the ball was Lloyd Free. They keep crashing the boards. San Diego, they just could not control it. We've got a timeout with 2:55 left first quarter. Bucks by 2.
Canon presents the world's most compact big copier, the NP200, small enough to fit on a desk.
Fast enough to make 20 letter-sized copies a minute. Big enough to copy up to 11 by 17 on virtually any paper, even transparencies. With Canon's superb copy quality.
The compact big copier with a compact price. The Canon NP200. Ingenuity makes it possible. Micronics makes it simple.
Now for an extra special winter event, the Owens Corning Fiberglass Save Twice Insulation Sale. Number 1, save on pink Owens Corning Fiberglass Insulation now. It's on sale. Number 2, save on fuel bills from now on. Look for this banner at your participating dealer and buy Owens Corning Fiberglass Insulation on sale today.
We're not just a couple of animals who can only play football. We can be civilized, too.
Tennis is sophisticated, but you still got to be fast on your feet.
So we still drink light beer from Miller. It's got a third less calories than the regular beer, and it's less filling.
And it really tastes great.
Now that we played singles, we're looking for a nice, friendly game of doubles.
Tennis, anyone?
Light beer from Miller. Everything you always wanted in a beer, and less.
It's a heavyweight weekend on the CBS Sports Spectacular. Next Saturday, former champion Leon Spinks tries to tame Eddie Animal Lopez. And on Sunday, Scott Ledoux takes on Marty Monroe.
And another heavyweight we'll see next Sunday will be the Doctor, Julius Erving. Philadelphia will be in San Antonio, one of Hot Rod's favorite players. Julius scored 39 points today. Philadelphia down Golden State 144-99. Bill Russell, Clippers are off to a good start. They look impressive. Can they keep going?
I don't think so. I think at this point, because of the way they're playing, that you got to think that Milwaukee is in better shape because of the style they're playing. They can play with these same guys much longer, and they can keep this pace up because it's team-oriented. Whereas with the Clippers, if one guy is off or gets tired, it has a tendency to throw the whole thing into disarray.
Harvey Ketching's coming in now, Brent, for Bob Lanier. He's got his second foul. That play before was an offensive foul called on Bob. So Coach Don Nelson wants to make sure his most valuable player is ready later in this ball game. So we're still in the first quarter, and he's got 2 fouls.
Quick shooting stats: Milwaukee 8 of 16, San Diego 8 of 20. The Bucks have shot 6 free throws. San Diego a pair. Sidney Dooling rolls up a hook shot. Marques Johnson's bringing out the best in Sidney Wicks.
That's Wicks of old. He made a good move that time.
Catchings picks Wicks off, and Wicks goes to the switch, and Harvey comes up over the top, and he's short, and Nader to the rebound. Now it's free in the middle. It's 3-on-2, and here comes Brian Taylor. There's that speed. Catching coming up over the top on him to pick him up, but what a dimension Brian Taylor adds, because he's quicker than anybody else on that team.
And Lloyd Free taking the middle. You always have to think that he's going to pull up and take a shot as Bob Lanier looks on from the bench. But that time he bounced the ball off left to Brian Taylor, really swarmed in there, and Harvey Catchings crossed over and got the foul as he tried to block the layup.
How's Marvin Barnes doing? Anybody been paying attention to him? They've been quiet. They haven't come through him very often, have they?
Well, maybe that's what Gene Sears told him to do. Be quiet.
That's it. Do those other things, right? Taylor's good on the free throw, but hold it.
That's Barnes and Pat Cummings are really elbowing each other, and they called a foul on Barnes. They really had the elbows flying. Cummings, by the way, Brent, the last time these two teams met in Milwaukee, he came off the bench and got 25 points. 6'9" rookie out of Cincinnati.
That was not a game at all. They announced before it started that Bill Walton was not going to play. Sellout crowd, and the Mecca in Milwaukee booed, and then Lanier got tossed out with about 14 seconds to go in the first half, but Milwaukee just blew them away. Clippers were never in that one. They've lost 14 of their last 18, and as you watch them play, Bill, it is obvious that Walton changes their style, and they're not accustomed to it. They don't know how to cut without the basketball.
Well, that's because they've been used to playing one-on-one. It's almost like that they've been trying to play to hold on until he got here. And now that he's here, the adjustment. And then no matter with free spirits, you wonder how much they're going to be willing to adjust. Are they going to say, well, let him adjust to us, or are we going to adjust to him? I think they're better off if they adjust to him because he's a winner.
There was a great move made by Nader. You notice they cleared out the right side, 3 men, let him work one-on-one. Well, look again. No one around him, and he makes a pivoting, pirouetting move back to his left, put the ball in, and he was fouled on the play by Catchings, his second. Beautiful move.
But you know, Howard, I think this all supports what Russell is saying. Everybody was standing around that time. Pass went into Nader, and he wound up just going one-on-one. Can they keep this up?
Yeah, but I think that time that was like a work to play. They wanted him one-on-one to isolate him. Let him go against Catchings.
No, I think that Rod's right there, Brendan, that that's Gene's true style, is to get a guy isolated so they can go one-on-one. The only problem with that is if the guys aren't adjusted to moving, then they don't make a good transition from offense to defense.
Tapped away to Freeze. Coming shot wouldn't fall, and Lloyd's the man in the middle again. Hanging it off now, and Marvin Barnes is right on.
And it was Sidney Wicks who tipped that ball out to start that fast break. Did a good job off the board.
27-22. Clippers lead the Bucks here in the first. Don Nelson standing up there in the background. Former star with the Boston Celtics. and played with the Chicago Zephyrs. Do you remember the Chicago Zephyrs, Russ? Everybody remembers the Chicago Bulls.
I remember the Zephyrs. I'm that old.
You and Big Walt Bellamy probably hooked up with a few.
That was when they were playing in the stockyards, and you're talking about some gamey games.
Yes, and in the old Coliseum, that was even worse, I think, than the amphitheater.
You get a cold just walking through that building before you got undressed to play.
Cummings is at the line, the rookie from Cincinnati.
They had a bad team, the Zephyrs, but the other team was depressed by the time the game started because the atmosphere was so dreary.
Remember those rats that used to run around underneath the stands there? 27-24 now, 1:12 to go in the first. Clippers have turned in a good first period for him, and Sidney Wicks has looked impressive, hasn't he? Nader filled in, gone all the way in the first period, played forward and center. Now here's All World. Up over, switch to the left hand. Do it to him.
That was All World.
Now it's Brian Winters to the attack, and Taylor's right with him, pressuring the ball. The rookie from Arkansas, Sidney Moncrief, has traveled and turned it over. Now keep an eye on Moncrief, because I'll tell you, he's another one of those players who can sky. Can he get off the floor? He got up above the glass, they tell me, in that game in Milwaukee against San Diego to tap one down. Matched against Taylor right there. Bridgman is out with Wicks. Junior's a swing man. Play guard, play forward for you. Now Wicks looks for the open one-on-one. Turnaround on Bridgman's going to be short, and Catchings is there. 28 seconds to go now, and it's 29-24 in the first period. And here's Winters from behind his back, gets the penetration. High arch is off, and it's Moncrief.
Moncrief got that basket because Catchings did a good job of blocking the San Diego players away when he picked it up. Gave him a little screen, and he just went back up all alone and got the layup.
Last shot time. Shu checks the clock. He stands up over there. His assistant is Bobby Weiss.
We see what Milwaukee is doing when you get their guards inside, is they take advantage of the fact that the San Diego guards are trying to take off.
We've got one period in. Looks like a good one brewing in San Diego. Clippers driving for the playoffs. The Bucks are thinking championship.
Back half of my head.
Colin Gardenier has a headache.
Will you try extra strength Tylenol?
I will try it if it's going to help.
Compare the levels of medicine in the leading regular and extra ingredient pain relievers. Extra strength Tylenol has more medicine.
How do you feel?
Super. My headache has disappeared. I was about to ask you if I could take some of these with me. It seems to really have done the job.
Extra strength Tylenol, aspirin free, and you can't buy a more potent pain reliever without a prescription.
I feel great.
Catch that Pepsi spirit.
Catch that Pepsi spirit. Catch that Pepsi spirit. Catch that Pepsi spirit. Drink it in, drink it in, drink it in. Catch that Pepsi spirit. Drink it in, drink it in, drink it in.
From the time I was a kid, playing basketball came naturally. Basketball comes harder to kids who are mentally retarded. But with the right training, they can learn almost anything. Foul. Foul, you fouled it. When they do, these special children become Special Olympians. The NBA supports Special Olympics. Why don't you? Please volunteer your time or money.
The preceding message has been furnished as a public service by the National Basketball Association.
And it's the most talked about hour in television. 60 Minutes that starts off the CBS lineup tonight, followed by Archie Bunker, One Day at a Time, Alice, the Jeffersons, Trapper John, MD. I'll tell you, 60 Minutes and Dan Rather ought to work up a piece on Lloyd Free. Great background coming out of Brooklyn. He can tell you stories all day. Look at him, all world. He's got 10 points already.
Got a big diamond, too, around his neck and that chain, world.
That gold goes up in value every day, in case you haven't noticed. There it is.
He'll just get some confidence.
He's the shy, bashful type.
Here's a guy in the lineup now that may be the best sixth man, too. Freeman Williams, right there with a basketball. Averaging 18, coming off the bench for San Diego.
What did he get, 81 one night for Portland State? Barnes fouled as he comes up. Second highest score of all time in NCAA.
He can really...
Pete Maravich was #1. There's the shooting stats.
He can fill it up, Freeman Williams.
Let's see what we got on the floor now, because I see Nick Witherspoon here, Hot Rod. So we've got Witherspoon free, We've got Barnes, we got Freeman Williams, who you mentioned, Swin Nader, and Bill Walton, who started the game, sitting and resting. He's on an every other day schedule. He doesn't practice with this team, and of course that hurts Gene Shue's offense tremendously. They don't work together. He'll take tomorrow off now.
He's played 10 games. This is game number 11. He's averaged 22 minutes a game.
Bridgman on the turnover. Let's see. For Don Nelson, we've got Winters, Moncrief, Cummings, Bridgman, and Catchings. So Lanier is still over there being rested too. And here comes Freeman Williams. Bill, why do NBA teams get out of sync when they go to the bench? Why can't the men fill in?
Because of two things: different styles and fatigue on how it affects the players that are out there. Every player changes his rhythm just a little bit as he gets tired. And so you have two things. The new player coming in, is he adjusting to the other guys that they have to adjust to him, for one thing? And on a team like San Diego, for example, they all think that they're pretty good.
And that man is Lloyd Free.
That's back-to-back hoops from those two guards. And they're the leading scorers. Free averages 30. Freeman Williams averages 18. They've got the last two field goals.
So the Clippers open up a 34-26 lead, going just like Hot Rod Hundley said it would go today. He said Milwaukee would win this by 30. Free looks for a man down in the middle. Remind me not to consult you anymore. Great scoop shot by Freeman Williams coming inside. Milwaukee goes to the timeout. Take another look at this shot. Here's the man Hot Rod was speaking about.
Watch him use the board under the arm, alley-oop, and spin it with English off the glass. Quite a move. Great shot by Freeman Williams.
Timeout in San Diego. 10:29 to go, and the Clippers are rolling.
Why did you take Alka-Seltzer?
I had a headache and such acid indigestion, I thought I'd never eat again.
I took Alka-Seltzer because I can't be a winner when my head and stomach are losers.
I didn't take it yet because I just got a headache to go with my upset stomach.
There are lots of ways to get acid indigestion with headache, and Alka-Seltzer is one great way to get fast relief. Just listen to those bubbles. They're telling you there's nothing faster.
Why did I take the Plop Plop Fizz Fizz? I can't talk right now.
Sharp razor blades are designed to give you a closer shave. Great for my beard, but can still be irritating to my skin. So I help protect my skin with Rise. Rise is thicker than the leading foam. Look, I can't even shake it off. Rise helps protect my skin against irritation. So for today's close shaves, get today's Thick Rise. Helps protect your skin against irritation. Thick Rise helps protect your skin against irritation.
Feeling any better?
This cold's the worst.
Here's some aspirin for the aching and fever.
But I'm also sniffling, sneezing, coughing. My head's stuffy, and tonight I gotta rest.
I was supposed to get you a sniffling, sneezing, coughing, aching, stuffy head fever so you can rest medicine?
That's a NyQuil. Relieves aches and fever plus other symptoms. Aspirin doesn't.
NyQuil.
Sure wish I had some.
Be right back.
NyQuil, the nighttime sniffling, sneezing, coughing, aching, stuffy head fever so you can rest medicine.
Next Sunday, Dr. J tries to perform major surgery on the Iceman.
You'll say you saw it on CBS Sports.
All right, and of course we'll see George Gervin, Doug Moe ousted as coach, Bob Bass. I missed something. Is today Halloween or something in San Diego? Here's Winters coming in, backing in on his man. Moncrief moves it over to Cummings, and they go back to Brian Winters.
You know, the flip side of having free spirits as a team is that they can get started and they can just run another team off the floor because they get to going and everything works for them. And right now for San Diego, everything is working. That was a great shot by Freeman Williams, the last shot down there.
Junior Bridgman, he's playing at a forward now, and he can also play at a guard.
Good anticipation by Winters. He just smelled that pass, slipped in there, and grabbed it off. And here they come, the Bucks.
What he did was from the weak side, he stepped into the passing lane. What he did is not accept into the passing lane, but one step outside of the passing lane. In other words, where the pass had to go, he take one step out of it so he could step in after the ball was passed.
That time, Brent, you saw Mader switch out on Bridgman. Then he let him go. He walked back inside looking for his man, and Bridgman got the field goal once again.
Spoon.
They can hurt you so many ways, the Milwaukee Bucks. They're going to really be a contender.
They are a contender. Here is Bridgman's hit 2 in a row. Spoon tightens up on him, and it'll be Winters from the corner. The thing about Milwaukee, they love to run, but if they have to fall back and shoot from the perimeter, they've got people like Bridgman and Winters who can burn it up for you. It's now 38-32. Here's Spoon maneuvering inside, and now Nick has scored 2 field goals in a row.
That was all set up by the double teaming of Lloyd Free, and he hit the open man, and it was Weatherspoon.
Cummings using the Winters screen. And Nader may be a little tired. Catchings really took that rebound away from him. Bryan on the drive inside. It goes to Marvin Barnes off Cummings' hand, and here's Free. Loses it. Goes to Milwaukee.
You know, Free could very easily lead this team in assists. In that when he goes with the one-on-one, the other guys know that his man needs help. And he could just pass off maybe 12 times and get 10 assists very easily. And I think as the season progresses, he probably will do that.
They're going back door because Moncrief jumps so well as they drop him in, and the foul called. And Bill Walton returns. We take a look at the scoreboard in the second. We'll see San Antonio next Sunday against the Philadelphia 76ers. Portland leading Chicago. Portland is in that duel with San Diego.
Big hand for Nader as he goes out, and Walton comes on. He did a great job in there.
You know, I was in the locker room before the game talking with the guys from San Diego, and they're a loose bunch. They're very loose, but in their own loose way, these guys want to win real bad. I was talking to Lloyd Free, and he's very conscious of the fact that people say, well, you can score, but you're not winning. And so conscious enough that these guys are becoming more and more concerned about winning than anything else.
They have won 31 times, Bill, and lost 37. Portland, on the other hand, has won 30 and lost 36. 1 percentage point separates those two, battling for the final playoff spot. The attendance has been announced as 13,841, only the second sellout here this year. Timeout is called by Gene Shue. Hot Rod?
One thing that I think is bothering San Diego, when you miss a great player like Bill Walton, when he comes back, you have a tendency to stand around and wait for him to do things. They are just starting the last couple of games to move with Walton, and they're playing a lot better.
Take it easy. You know, I was known for working long and hard during training camp. Why, even after my teammates were asleep, I'd still be out practicing my moves, and that's still important. So I drink light beer from Miller. Light tastes great. It's got 1/3 less calories than a regular beer, and the best thing is it's less filling. Because listen, I still train the same way as the old days. Practice, practice, practice.
Light beer from Miller. Everything you always wanted in a beer, and less.
You work hard for your money, and you want to do the right things with it. So get professional answers to confusing financial questions like these.
I've got about $1,000 to invest. I've heard about savings certificates, government notes, and other things. I'm single. What's best for me?
What's best for you? Your full-service bank has the answers.
We paid the mortgage on our house down to a small amount, while the market value of the house skyrocketed. Would it be smart at our age to remortgage and use the money in some other way?
There's a lot to consider. But once again, see your full-service bank. They've got the answers.
On our vacation, we're going to look for a condominium.
Yeah, but how'll I make the down payment away from home?
When you need answers to questions like these and the services to back them up, you've got them when you bank behind this symbol. America's full-service banks. We've got the answers.
Saturday on the CBS Sports Spectacular, we'll bring you exclusive coverage of Holland's Hilbert van der Duem's upset victory over USA's Eric Heiden in the 1,500-meter World Speed Skating Championships. That's next Saturday on the CBS Sports Spectacular.
Eric the Great, who won 4 more gold medals than my pal Bill Russell. You only got one, didn't you, in 56? Here's Wicks now looking for somebody, and Walton goes crashing down to the floor inside, and there's a foul, and also...
Take a look at it again, Brent. Here's Walton rolling through the lane, and down goes Winters. He was a player that was taking the tough part of the ball as Walton landed right on him, but he gets up, he's all right.
That looks like a guy getting run over by a big truck and then get a ticket.
Yeah, he sure did. That's a lot of weight to fall on you. 1956 was the year that Mr. William Felton Russell got a gold medal. Brent?
I make the 60 Olympic team an 8-point favorite over the 56 squad. Turnaround by Walton is short. Wicks, and it's snapped down by Bridgman. Coming up on the left side, and Witherspoon's off balance. Walton rebounds, looks for the outlet, and quickly it's Brian Taylor with Williams on the other side, and Brian will go for the layup.
Super outlet by Walton. Once again, they had a 2-on-1. Perfect feed.
The man who I see making a difference is Brian Taylor with that foot speed on his ball club. When Walton turns around for that release, he's got someone blazing down the floor for him.
But the big guy's got to be able to make that pass. He's got to be conscious of it. It's a very close thing in that when you get the rebound, you got to make sure you got it first.
Can't run without that ball, and he got it out again.
See, a lot of times the guys will try to get the ball and pass before they have it, and they lose the rebound. You got to do that split-second thing that you have to be able to do to get that outlet pass like that.
Bridgman. Bridgman is hot, isn't he? He has come off the bench now for 3 field goals here in the second period. 42-36 and 7:03 to go in the first half.
Got a 20-second injury timeout for Sidney Wicks.
What, did he take an elbow, Hot Rod?
I didn't see it. He was underneath the basket on the play, but it looks like he got maybe a blow to the stomach. And that would hurt.
Shoes looking over the bench. He's going to take him out, I believe.
So I don't think he got hit in the stomach.
And that's tomorrow night on CBS. The special 1-hour KRP in Cincinnati will start it off, followed by MASH. Still one of the best written shows on television. House Calls and Lou Grant. That's coming up on Monday night on CBS. So Barnes now up front with 56. Here's Wicks now looking for somebody, and Walton goes crashing down to the floor inside, and there's a foul. And also,
take a look at it again, Brent. Here's Walton rolling through the lane, and down goes Winters. He was a player that was taking the tough part of the ball as Walton landed right on him, but he gets up, he's all right.
That looks like a guy getting run over by a big truck and then get a ticket.
Yeah, he sure did. That's a lot of weight to fall on you. 1956 was the year that Mr. William Felton Russell got a gold medal. Brent?
I make the 60 Olympic team an 8-point favorite over the 56 squad. Turnaround by Walton is short. Wicks, and it's snapped down by Bridgman. Coming up on the left side, and Witherspoon's off balance. Walton rebounds, looks for the outlet, and quickly it's Brian Taylor with Williams on the other side, and Brian will go for the layup.
Once again, they had a 2-on-1. Perfect feed.
The man who I see making a difference is Brian Taylor with that foot speed on his ball club. When Walton turns around for that release, he's got someone blazing down the floor for him.
But the big guy's got to be able to make that pass. He's got to be conscious of it. It's a very close thing in that when you get the rebound, you got to make sure you got it first.
Can't run without that ball, and he got it out again.
See, a lot of times the guys will try to get the ball and pass before they have it, and they lose the rebound. You got to do that split-second thing that you have to be able to do to get that outlet pass like that.
Bridgman. Bridgman is hot, isn't he? He has come off the bench now for 3 field goals here in the second period. 42-36 and 7:03 to go in the first half.
Got a 20-second injury timeout for Sidney Wicks.
What, did he take an elbow, Hot Rod?
I didn't see it. He was underneath the basket on the play, but he looks like he got maybe a blow to the stomach. That would hurt.
Shoes looking over the bench. He's going to take him out, I believe.
So I don't think he got hit in the stomach.
And that's tomorrow night on CBS. The special 1-hour KRP in Cincinnati will start it off, followed by MASH. Still one of the best written shows on television. House Calls and Lou Grant. That's coming up on Monday night on CBS. So Barnes now up front with Witherspoon and Walton. Williams and Taylor in the backcourt, and they'll come through the redhead. Got Lanier in the air and drew the foul.
You got to stay on your feet. He gives you a head shoulder fake. Good move. Return to the baseline left. You take a look again. Back ducks in, spin. Now here the fake got Lanier in the air, and he ducked under him, leaped and leaned in as he put the shot up to draw the foul. The basket would have counted if he had made it. He'll get 2 free throws.
3 fouls on Lanier. You know, Walton in his 6-year career has missed 258 games. Lanier's missed 107. They've started against each other only 6 times, according to the stats. This is their first meeting since January 7th of 1978. Buckner goes over to Lanier. The scene in Barnes is out. And outlet's contagious. Walton's leading it, and Williams comes through the middle. And Walton was up over the top of Moncrief there underneath, too. And if they call it on Bill, that's his 3rd.
Take a look again at the play. Walton was out in front, but Williams never got the ball to him. And then right there, Walton came over the top in his anxiety to get the missed shot on the rebound play.
Each of the big men with 3 now.
Although Walton was out front, it would have been a bad pass to get the ball to him, because you don't want to get a guy 7 foot, pass him the ball on a dead run.
He's only 6'11".
Oh, excuse me. Sorry.
He can handle the ball pretty good, though.
He can handle it. He's outstanding in handling the ball for a guy his size. But on a fast break, you don't want the big guy dribbling the ball. Now, if he could have gotten it so that he didn't have to dribble, that would have been one play. But having to dribble it, you don't want to pass it to him if you can avoid it.
Milwaukee's really not shooting that well. Junior Bridgman gave him a lift. That time, Marques with a good turnaround. Had the shot, wouldn't go down. Here's Walton's jumpers off. Barnes battling for offensive rebound. Gets away from Marques.
They continue to hustle San Diego, and that's the only reason they're getting that ball back. This time it was Barnes that forced the turnover by Milwaukee.
Ryan Taylor will inbound now for Gene Shue's Clippers, who lead the Bucks 43-36. Kansas City has already won, and they're pulling hard now for the Clippers to keep going so they can open up a 3-game lead in the Midwest. Walton faces up on Lanier, just off the glass, and Barnes is ever so close down there underneath. Buckner was attacked from behind. Witherspoon fouled him.
He changed lanes on the freeway, and you can't do that.
There it is again. Buckner reversed right to left, and they reached in from behind, and they give the foul to San Diego, their 14th foul.
Buckner repositioning Lanier as Moncrief pops out, and here's Bridgman. That time he's off, and Walton runs down the loose ball. Taylor will come up, and as you can see, Bill will be a little slow, so right now it's 4-on-5. Here's Walton. Spoon is out. They're all over there on one side. Clog that side up.
They brought everybody high except Freeman Williams, and then brought it right into him for the turnaround jumper.
Bridgman. He's the man now with the shooting touch for Don Nelson in this period.
Bill Walton just did something that, to me, that's very interesting. Most teams do not try to fast break off a basket, but if the center takes the ball out of the net, doesn't let it hit the floor, and looks up, a lot of times you can get a fast break on a basket scored by the other team when most teams have a tendency to relax, especially when they make the basket.
Myers returns. Moncrief out. Ball belongs to the Clippers. Off Milwaukee and out of bounds. Marvin Barnes out of Providence goes to Bill Walton. He's going to be short. Myers tracks it down and hits Marques Johnson, and there was a foul down away from the ball inside as they came free.
You know, Nick Witherspoon holding away from the ball. That'll be his 3rd. Now you're in the penalty. Marques Johnson gets that ball out in front like that. It's a good thing they called a foul, because he had a lot of room to work one-on-one and probably would have got a basket out of it.
Well, the Clippers have hit Milwaukee with a pretty impressive running game here this afternoon. A lot better than Kansas City was able to generate last Sunday. Wicks returns for the Clippers. Spoon will go out.
You know, Brent, when you get a good rebounder like Bill Walton and a good rebounder like Swin Nader, when they're on the boards and making a good outlet pass, you got to have a good running game. It's automatic, a good running game. That first pass is the key. Sometimes it may take 3 passes and a dribble or 2 dribbles to get the layup. But the key is that outlet pass.
So the problem for Milwaukee then, Bill, is to keep the rebound away from Walton and Nader now and to check them down underneath. We'll see how Milwaukee adjusts. Taylor lobbing into Walton. Lanier is there, both with 3 fouls. Slides inside.
Waiting to swing across the lane with a little hook, and Walton turned back on him. He's got that quick move when he turns left for that jump shot.
He's coming along, isn't he? Buckner off a weave. Marques Johnson knocked out of bounds by Sidney Wicks. Marques will inbound.
All world's coming back.
Taylor out. Three returns. Deep to Bridgman. Buckner penetrates and dishes Lanier.
He walked. They got him, traveling. That was a great feed, too. Beautiful feed by Buckner, and Bob was so open. I think he just got too excited to get the shot away, and he walked with it.
Can you win in this league without a penetrating guard, Bill?
I don't think so. You got to have someone penetrating to get the other team in foul trouble. Without penetration, you never get to shoot free throws. And free throws are a very important part of this game.
Lanier is half fronting Walton now. Bill faking the back door, and Friel put it up outside. Myers loses it, and will go to the Clippers.
You wanted to know one of the surprising things to me. I went in the locker room before the game, and I said, the guys on the San Diego Clippers, you hear a lot of things. I think they get along extraordinarily well. You know, you hear a lot of things about the guys that are yelling at each other. That happens. But in the locker room, these guys get along, and with this type of team, that's very important.
Well, Walton's looking better. This is by far his best game now since coming back.
And he's looking for his shots, and that one was a 15-footer right at the free throw line, falling away. Beautiful touch with the jump shot.
He's given Lanier a lot of movement. And they're triple teaming the ball, attacking Bob Lanier. Myers goes back, and Walton got a hand on it. Wicks sends it back. It's 4-on-5. Walton will stay down at the defense again. He didn't come back up. They didn't need him. Just Williams hit it. It's an 11-point Clipper lead.
That's when the big guys should rest. If they're going to rest, is after you get that good outlet pass, you see if you can be the fifth man on the break. If not, then you can lay back and rest, and you don't hurt your team.
Gene Shue flatly predicted that this franchise will win a championship. Not this year, but someday they'll build around that man right there, Walton.
Oh, what a feeling.
Lean and clean, symbol of the Toyota Celica. Celica, lean and clean and a little bit mean. Aerodynamically styled to let the wind glide over its surface. Carefully engineered for the 80s to give amazingly precise performance. The Toyota Celica, because a lean, clean machine is a very good feeling.
Oh, what a feeling to drive Toyota.
I haven't used my antiperspirant since yesterday. I've been so busy campaigning, I ran out. But even after a day of shaking hands and meeting people, I still feel dry, thanks to Sure Solid.
Introducing new Sure Solid. Solid, so the protection goes on dry. Solid through and through for an extra day of dryness.
I hope I never need 2 solid days of dryness again.
TV news.
But it's nice to be sure.
New Sure Solid. 2 solid days of dryness, just to be sure.
Sometimes, if you heard what people think.
Cute, except he's scratching his head.
No flakes, but that itch could mean dandruff.
I think he needs Head and Shoulders.
Even if you don't see flakes, even if nobody tells you, your itch could be telling them you've got dandruff. But Head and Shoulders every time handles that itch, treats hair gently, so all people notice is healthy-looking hair.
Nice guy. Nice hair.
Head and Shoulders, because that little itch should be telling you something.
This is George the Iceman Gervin. They call me Iceman because I know how to deal with pressure in an NBA game. For Iceman, there's no problem to stay cool. But to deal with blood pressure, even the Iceman have to have it checked. That's right. Having it checked tells you if your blood pressure is normal. If it's high, the doctor will tell you how to control it. Call your American Heart Association for information on blood pressure. They're fighting for your life.
The preceding message has been furnished as a public service by the National Basketball Association.
And another action around the NBA at the half. San Antonio leading Cleveland by 3. We'll see the Iceman next Sunday against Philadelphia on CBS. Chicago leading Portland by 5 at the half. And Seattle, if they beat Utah, and they sure should, they will be back in first place as a result of that Laker loss earlier today to the Phoenix Suns. The Clippers have outscored the Bucks 22-14 this period, and the Bucks are now 5 of 16 shooting this quarter.
But Nader's really a remarkable rebounder. Uses his body well, positions. He's been doing an outstanding job for this club at center, as well as forward.
So with Walton getting a rest again, Wicks moves through the lane, and he's short, and Marvin Barnes had one rejected by Catchings. Buckner puts it to the floor, quarterbacks the attack, hits David Myers, and a fine play by the Bucks. And Myers got a hand on it, too, of errant pass from Sidney Wicks, who should have been more careful on the inbound.
You got to be careful when you shoot any time around Harvey Catchings. As he blocked that last one by Barnes, he can really sky, Brett. That's his best, his long suit as a player, is blocking shots and rebounding.
Williams coming over to the right baseline, turns around on him. They're simply shooting better than Milwaukee. 53-42 and a minute 43 to go here in the first half. You'll see Milwaukee's overtime victory against Los Angeles in the halftime highlights. Marques was off. Nader's outlet for Wicks, intercepted by Buckner. Now this time, just as Bill Russell pointed out, they're leaving a man back now. They're not going to give him any easy ones, and that time it paid off.
Now what Milwaukee has to do is to continue to play the way they're playing. San Diego's playing very well. And what Milwaukee has to do is to continue to run their plays, make San Diego play some defense, and hang in there. Because over the period of the game, it'll pay off for them.
It counted if it had gone.
That was isolation move again. They let Free have the whole left side of the floor to work on. He faked right, went left, had his man beaten, drove in and got the foul on the play. So Bridgman gets his first. Ron Nelson and Gene Shue. There was a couple of pretty good players in the NBA, the coaches. Shue was one of the first guards to score over 20 a game. And I got him up to a great start, Brent.
Nelson's returning from that back surgery that sidelined him for a while. Here's assistant coach John Killalay. Headed up the Bucks. It's amazing how much better that back felt as soon as the Lanier trade was announced. And Marques gives it to Myers.
They've run that same play the last two times down. This time for Myers, the last time for Marques. He missed, but Myers hit. They set the screen away from the ball for the forwards to get the jump shot.
Bridgman working on Free. He's got just a little more height than he is bothering Lloyd's shot just a bit. Junior Bridgman was right there with him with a hand.
Got a hand on it. He blocked that shot. But they're going to give the ball back to Milwaukee. Looked to me like he blocked the ball away.
And Free was down arguing and didn't get back, and it set up the offensive attack by Milwaukee. They went 5-on-4 when Free was trailing the field, still complaining about the call.
He actually did get a hand on that ball. I can't understand why they gave the ball back to Milwaukee.
Well, the referees miss sometimes too, Rod.
Well, they missed that one.
Myers popping out. Now it's Williams. Buckner was there. And Freeman got rain. 56-48. Last seconds here in the first half. 5. Buckner up with the shot. Short. Nader. That'll do it. Show the leg of Lloyd Free when he goes up on his shot. Forget the ball, forget the release as Bridgman goes up. Watch what happens, how that kicks out and makes contact, and frequently he'll get the call. In this instance, Bridgman got a hand on the ball. So we've come to the end of the first half. Coming up, highlights, and I'll be talking to Bill Russell about what the Bucks are going to have to do to get back in it.
Want to know 4 ways to help get better gas mileage?
Tell us, Mr. Goodwrench.
First, Air Up. Keeping tires at recommended pressure can help save up to a gallon of gas per tank. Next, Tune Up. That can help save up to 2 gallons.
Wow!
Then, Clean Up. Get new filters. And Slow Up. You can go farther on a tank full.
Keep that great GM feeling. Thanks a tankful, Mr. Goodwrench. With genuine GM parts.
Here's to good friends.
A toast. Here's to a vanishing breed. Bill Evans, bachelor.
End of a perfectly good ladies' man.
To Bill Evans, a free man. 13 more hours.
When you want the taste of a truly great American beer, tonight, let it be Low and Brow.
Speech! 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 Come on, you guys. You're beautiful.
No experience, no job. I could do that job, but who'd give me the chance?
Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines.
We don't ask for experience, we give it. You won't read it in a book, you live it. Pick a service, pick a challenge, set yourself apart.
Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines. What a great place. It's a great place to start.
I'm Big Daddy Don Garlitz, and I have $100,000 invested in my car. And I have confidence in the Kendall oil I use.
Oh, yeah? Well, I'm Dave Woods, and I have 6,000 hard-earned bucks in this car. You know what oil I use? Kendall. Not because he likes Kendall, but because I like Kendall. Helps keep my engine running clean and purring like a kitten. So maybe it's not a $100,000 race car, but I treat her like one.
Protect your investment with Kendall Confidence.
The playoff picture starting to come into focus. In the Atlantic Division, the Knicks are now right in the thick of it, 33-33. Boston continues its drive for the home court advantage in all Eastern Conference and NBA championship playoff games. This is the return of Dave Cowens for the Celtics against Atlanta in Hartford, Connecticut. Somebody said that Eddie Johnson of the Hawks didn't deserve to be on the All-Star team. An unfair comment. Johnson has matured into one of the finest guards in the league, the second leading scorer for Hubie Brown's Hawks this year. Now here's Cowens in the first period. Playing catch with Tiny Archibald, and David will put up his first field goal since being injured and going on the disabled list back in January. The man driving toward Rookie of the Year, Larry Bird, scored 25 points. Watch the pass. ML Carr is there, and the Celtics get another field goal. Most underrated man in the NBA, how about Danny Roundfield? Here are the Hawks going to work inside. Watch him come away with a scoop shot. Hawks stay close. But in the end, it was too much Boston Celtics. Roby and Cowens on the floor for Bill Fitch's power lineup. The Celtics go down and beat the Hawks and pick up another win in the Atlantic Division, 108-97. Take a look at the Central Division standings. That's why Doug Moe was fired. Houston caught him, both teams 33-33. And in the Midwest Division, the story, the Milwaukee Bucks putting a move on Kansas City. Back by 2, and Don Nelson predicts that Milwaukee will catch Kansas City the last month of the season. Friday night, the Bucks roared into the Forum in Los Angeles. The Lakers had just come off a magnificent performance against the Seattle Supersonics. They were favored to slow up Milwaukee. Watch this pick here by Bob Lanier. Cooper doesn't know what hit him, and Bridgman's free for 2. Norm Nixon turned in one of the best weeks of any NBA player. 30 points in this game after a devastating performance against Gus Williams. Time running out. Lakers trail it by 3. They'll go now to Magic Johnson in front of the Milwaukee bench and Coach Don Nelson. Clock comes down inside of 10. Magic throws one up. It's good. Now, just a handful of seconds left. Tip will go away, and David Myers will throw up a prayer. Watch Marques Johnson on the other side of the net. Sky for the rebound, but time is out. And the Lakers and the Bucks go into overtime. Milwaukee scored the first 7 points in overtime, including this drive by Lanier, who's tough outside because he can put the ball on the floor. Since the arrival of Lanier, the Milwaukee Bucks are 10-2 and definitely one of the elite in the NBA, a team to watch now the last couple of months of the year. In the Pacific Division, Seattle is now tied with Los Angeles. The Lakers lost today. They can go ahead tonight.
The NBA on CBS will continue after this word from your local station.
Wednesday, Beyond Westworld. A scientific genius has planted a robot on a nuclear sub. The mission, locate and destroy it. Beyond Westworld, premiering Wednesday.
This is CBS.
Back in San Diego at halftime, 56-48. The Clippers leading the Milwaukee Bucks. And Bill, what about this game? Now, Milwaukee came in here. They were on a roll. Everything was going their way. But the Clippers really have seized this game.
Well, the Clippers are playing very well. Milwaukee's playing very well. What Milwaukee has to do is be in a place, not what you call patient, but a sense of well-being, because they're playing well. And if they can just keep that up, there's a good chance that they can catch up in the third quarter, because they got to play their team game and not change anything.
Now, of course, the two personalities that we have spoken about all throughout the first half, Bob Lanier and Bill Walton. Walton seems to be giving Lanier some difficulty. What would he, for example, be doing different than Kareem Abdul-Jabbar did Friday night? Lanier really outplayed the big fella.
Well, Walton has an asset that most big guys don't have. He has good lateral movement plus good vertical movement. He can jump high, and he moves well from side to side. This causes a problem for a guy like Lanier, who has good lateral movement, but he doesn't jump as high. So he has to get up on Walton because Walton can jump over him. And this is causing some of the problems for him.
Now, why can't the big men move laterally? Is it simply a lack of quickness, or they don't do it as youngsters, bad coaching? What do you blame for that?
Well, what happens when the guys are tall, everyone says you should do things because you're tall, so you start to think tall. And you don't think about the kinds of things that the guards do, the lateral movement and the back and forth movement, those kind of things. And it's a matter of training.
But, you know, we look at the scoreboard, 56-48. Milwaukee's got to come out here and say, hey, if a few more of those shots fall, we're going to be right back in this game.
And also they can say, look, these guys are playing great. Freeman Williams has made some tough shots. Lloyd Freed's made some great shots. Walton's made some tough shots. And we're not far. We're not out of the game.
And I think we also overlooked the fact that Lanier really hasn't played that long with Milwaukee. There were times out here, for example, when Quinn Buckner was positioning him down there on the attack. It's been an amazing turnaround, but there are some things that he's probably not yet familiar with.
Well, another thing is that this Milwaukee team is an excellent team without Lanier. They are a good team without Lanier, and he adds a whole dimension to them that makes them even better. And so as he works in, you see that they won a few games. He's been here 10 or 12 games, and everyone says, well, that's okay. But it takes longer than that to get acclimated to a good player on a good team. It takes longer than that.
And how do you figure the Lakers? They were awesome. You and I watched them beat Seattle, and suddenly they lose back-to-back games to Milwaukee and Phoenix. This league is so unpredictable.
Well, you're talking about losing to two good teams. The key that you have to remember is, in winning in this league, you have to play even with the good teams and beat the heck out of the bad teams.
So don't feel bad if you lose to a couple of the good ones, right?
Well, Phoenix and Milwaukee at this point are playing as good at basketball as anybody in the league. So when they're playing that way, you might lose to them. But you got to bounce back and do like the good teams do, just beat the heck out of the guys that aren't playing well.
And how about in the East now? We got Boston and Philadelphia dueling in the Atlantic Division. Can the 76ers catch the Celtics the last month of the regular season?
If there are no injuries, it's going to be tough, because the Celtics, with the young players and that new team, they got a new team practically for all intents and purposes. They will get better if there are no key injuries. Okay. And so, Philadelphia is having a great year, and they're playing well. So those two teams in the East are going to be tough. It's the other spots that are going to be interesting. It's hard to say which one of those teams are going to win it, because if one team gets a key injury, the other team's going to beat them.
You notice how quiet Hot Rod's been the last 5 minutes?
Where is Hot Rod?
He finally found somebody to talk to. Junior Bridgman. Let's go to Hot Rod now.
Junior, you had 10 points in the first half, but your club is down. What do you got to do to beat this team?
Well, we're going to have to pick up our defense, no doubt. San Diego kind of has us in between. It's the first time we've seen Bill Walton play this year, and he's creating a lot of problems for us. And just going to have to play better defense and run and hit our shots, and I think we'll be all right.
Your coach said you're the best sixth man in the game coming off the bench. That's quite an honor for you.
Well, yeah, but there's a lot of, I think tough players coming off the bench. I just try and, if things aren't going well like they are today, try and put a few points on the board, and if things are going well, just hopefully keep things going.
Okay, good luck to you second half, Junior.
Thank you.
Junior Bridgman, Brent, he's played well. 10 points in the first half. Back to Brent.
Thank you, Hot Rod. Taking a look at some of the shooting stats. Milwaukee 42% in the first half. San Diego 49. That's the difference. Free with 13 and Williams with 12.
How do you spell relief?
When I get acid indigestion, I spell relief R-O-L-A-I-D-S.
Rolaids spells relief. Clinical tests prove with Rolaids you get relief Tums can't beat. That's right, relief Tums can't beat. In fact, relief no other leading antacid can beat. How do you spell relief?
For heartburn, I know. R-O-L-A-I-D-S.
Relief no other leading antacid can beat.
Diggs Formula 44D, please.
Helen, with this nasty cough plus congestion, I need...
Formula 44D.
But Helen, I need a decongestant, not just strong cough medicine.
You need Formula 44D. It's strong like Formula 44, has the strongest non-narcotic cough suppressant you can buy, plus ingredients to help unstuff your nose and loosen up for chest congestion.
That's what I said. Formula 44D, strong for coughs plus congestion.
These days, Americans want good mileage and good value, and Ford's doing something about it. During Ford's Fuel Economy celebration, make your best deal on a new 1980 Thunderbird, and Ford will send you a check for $500. Buy a high-mileage new Fairmont and get $300. Just take delivery by March 22nd. Ford's really putting its money where the mileage is.
Harold.
There's money where the mileage is.
Up to $500.
And there's mileage news at Ford.
You know the best thing about NBA basketball?
No, what? It's seeing all the sensational rookies in their first professional season. No, that's not what makes the NBA exciting for me. It's those real big guys battling it out underneath. That's where the games are won and lost. The big guys? Come on now. What about the speed merchants who bring the ball up and drive through to the hoop? That's what's exciting. Ah, come on.
Whatever your favorite
Big
basketball
hands,
action is,
strength.
you'll find it all in the NBA.
Quickness, strength, quickness.
The preceding message was furnished by the National Basketball Association. The NBA on CBS is sponsored by Lowenbrau Special and Dark Special when it's time for the taste of a truly great American beer. RCA's Color Track. Getting the color right is what Color Track is all about. And by the Bic Shaver, designed to give you days of close, comfortable shaves.
Let's go to Hotline now with Bill Walton. Hotline.
Bill, first half, you played pretty well, but in your own words, you said the shots are just not starting to go for you, huh?
Well, they're not falling for me, but, you know, it's one of the problems not being able to practice hot rod, but I'm going to shoot my way out of it, that's for sure.
I think you're really playing well, but the club hasn't been doing very good since you've been back. How come?
Well, since we changed to the UCLA lineup with me, Wicks, and Nader up front, we've been playing a lot better. We had a tough game in Kansas City Friday night, or in St. Louis against the Kings, and I think we're going to get this game today.
Hey, Bill, in the first half, your buddy Nader, you mentioned he had 10 rebounds. He's been phenomenal.
The guy's playing great. He's having a great year, and today is really super.
It's good to have you back, I'll tell you that.
I got to quit fouling. Those referees got to quit calling fouls.
Good luck second half, Bill. Bill Walton, back to you, Brent.
He took care of his alumni dues with that comment about the UCLA lineup. They won't be sending him any bills this year. We're ready to start the second half here in San Diego. 56-48 with the Clippers leading the Bucks right now. In that first half, Walton played 10 minutes, hit 3 of 9.
And he had 5 rebounds, all defensive. And Bill, the point you made several times about him, of course, is that beautiful outlet pass off the defensive glass.
I have a statistic here that he has 2 assists. But the key to that is the fact that maybe he only has 2 assists, but he may have caused 5 or 6 more. In other words, a pass that leads to a pass that leads to a pass that leads to a fast break or layup.
Taylor, free, and the Bruins. Wicks, Walton, and Nader. Backdoor, beautiful pass, and a foul as Taylor had slid in beside the defense.
Take a look at it again, Brent. That was a beautiful feed by Walton. Behind the back, no looker. He had Brian Winters beaten. Right here, Taylor should have made this shot, but he'll get a couple of free throws. Would have had a 3-point play there. The foul to Winters. And that's his 4th foul.
And Brian Taylor can quickly build a 10-point lead here for the San Diego Clippers, who are in that duel for the final playoff spot in the Western Conference. Milwaukee, of course, chasing Kansas City. The Kings are winner today.
If we can look at it again, that pass that Walton made, where he passed the ball from is not where he started with the ball. In other words, he moved in such a way sideways to change the angle of the pass. And in a sense, he changed where the passing lane was.
Just beat the buzzer on that shot. That was Marques Johnson. 24-second clock almost expired, and he got it away with 1 second.
Here's Walton. Took the pass from Sidney, and Taylor was working away without the ball. Bill is short again with the shot. And Wicks was backing Lanier out of there, rebounding position.
Now here's that play again. Now watch, see where he passed that ball from. He didn't pass the ball from where he was standing, and that's changed the passing lane, and that's why that pass was able to get through.
Good to know that the director, Sandy Grossman, is listening to you, Bill, and brought that one right back.
I thought he was asleep, too. You know, I really did.
All right, here's Buckner. Winters pops out behind Lanier and hits.
Now, that's another one of the key things that the big guys have to do. They have to set a good pick because you get mismatches, but the thing is to help the forwards and the guards play better.
Walton was short again.
He had the mismatch there, Brent. He wanted the shot that time. Marques Johnson was on him.
Marques is such a strong player inside, but he missed, and Walton got down for the rebound. Taylor waits for Free to come around. Walton gets back in, and it'll be 5-on-5. Taylor, shot clock inside at 10. Lanier with a hand on the ball. Wicks retrieves Clippers. Nader hook. Lanier rebound Bucks. They trail it by 6. They can move to within 4. If they can convert here, it'll be Winters going to the glass. 4-point game, and Brian Winters, he just saw daylight and seized it, didn't he?
Took it right to him on that play. Walton was there, too, and he blew right by him with a left-hand layup.
Bucks looking better offensively. Ball starting to drop for him. Pass away from Nader, who looked away, but Free runs down Clippers. Shot clock down to 8. 7. As he turned away from Buckner, he was fouled by Quinn, the former Indiana star out of Thornridge High School, a suburb of Chicago. They won back-to-back state championships. Quinn is questioning that call. And Marques Johnson goes over to sit down because we're going to have a timeout now, and Captain Buckner returns to the Milwaukee huddle.
Lloyd Free handles that ball pretty well for being just known as a shooter. A great scorer, but he can dribble, get himself free. We got a timeout.
We asked men to compare the 19 3/4 cent pick to the expensive Track 2.
No difference.
No difference.
No difference. No difference.
There's no difference.
The results of the Bic Barber test surprised a lot of people. 58% found Bic shave equal to or better than Track 2's. Why pay more? Most men we tested felt
No difference.
And the price?
Big difference.
The incredible 19 3/4 cent Bic.
Up here in this country, winter isn't a season, it's a warning. Telling you it's time to move down from the cold, down to a valley the wind can't reach. Down toward home in a place called Miller Time. Time for the best tasting beer you can find. America's quality beer, Miller High Life.
When it's time to relax, one beer stands clear. Miller beer. Miller tastes too good to hurry through. If you've got the time, we've got the beer. Miller beer.
Last year, Larry Nelson won the Inverary Classic. Next Saturday and Sunday, see who takes the title this year. You'll say, you saw it on CBS Sports.
Looking ahead, Winters with the 4, Lanier and Walton with the 3, Weatherspoon with 3. Now, Bill, it seems to me that Milwaukee's doing exactly what you felt they should do.
Yes, you just, when you're playing well and the other team's ahead of you, what you try to do is just maintain that, because each team is going to have ebbs and flows. And if things just don't work as well all the time, as they make substitution, as the fatigue factor sets in, things happen for you.
They're getting the hand on the ball more defensively, too. Several trips down the floor now. They're looking much sharper at the defensive end. I think it has surprised them that San Diego played as well as they did after they blew the Clippers out in Milwaukee. They probably did not expect this kind of resistance. Mrs. Hickey, Bill Walton's grandmother, here in San Diego. And, of course, Bill grew up in this area, so It was a delight for him to return down here to play basketball after leading the Trailblazers to that World Championship and then getting re-injured again and then coming down here to San Diego.
But you just said that was a bad pass you made a while ago, Bill. That was cross-court pass, the last one he threw away.
Are you sure that's what she said?
No, actually what she said was, you do what for a living?
Yeah. And you get paid that kind of money to do it? Dave Myers was fouled on that play by Free, who was out of position, running right at him, and Myers missed a shot, but he got him on the arm.
58-55 now, and 9:18, and the Clippers come down on the attack, and Milwaukee's defense has tightened up. Wicks comes out, Marques is on him. Myers is over there on Nader. Taylor, you see there's not an open Clipper right now. They're going to wind up going one-on-one. It'll be Walton with the shot. Traveling, it's been turned over.
On that last play that Lloyd Free fouled David Myers, the reason that he got in foul trouble was he played bad defense. If he had walked over to where Myers was and just stood there, they never would have passed the ball to him. As it was, he left him there by himself, and then you're going toward a man that's shooting, you're going to pick up the foul.
Myers, Bill, pulls the Bucks to within a point at 58-57. So the Clippers right now are looking for some offense. They've been outscored 9-4, and perhaps that's the lift.
They keep rolling in and out. That time Walton went outside, let Nader go inside for the jump hook shot.
Myers wanted Lanier and pressured the pass, scored it, and Nader fouled him. Lanier will come up to the free throw line. Marvelous pass by Myers. Watch
Take a look, again.
That was an outstanding pass by David Myers.
He should have let him go right here. See, Nader's beaten totally. 6'11" man, Lanier, you know he's going to get the shot away. He had no chance to block it, but he tried and he got the foul, and the basket counts.
And we are tied at 60. 8:27 to go in the third. So now the Bucks are starting to play like the championship team that they have become here. 10-2 since the arrival of number 16, Bob Lanier. Walton pressured by Myers. Taylor uses the Nader screen.
Walton got fouled there, and he was trying to follow down the middle and was really bumped hard. Myers really gave him a shoulder to get the foul. That was away from the ball as Walton was trying to get into position. Maybe we can pick it up right here. Here's Walton trying to go down the middle after the Taylor shot. It's a little bit out of the picture behind us, but that's where the foul occurred.
Three-pointer is up and off, and Walton got the Nader.
That's an unselfish play. Tip it right over to him for the layup.
Clippers back ahead. At one time, they were up by 11 early in the game. Milwaukee led it by 4. It's Milwaukee and San Diego, the doubleheader game on CBS. And next week, the game of the week, San Antonio, Philadelphia. Lanier faces Walton, jumps up over him. Tied again, 7:41 to go in the third. Now Free will go one-on-one against Buckner. Comes right up on him.
It's amazing. Buckner played him as well as he could, forced him out, never let him penetrate, and he still shot the ball right over him and got the field goal.
Trails George Gervin in that battle for the scoring championship. Free with 15 here this afternoon, 10 of them early. Myers now waiting for the open man, and he'll come through Lanier. Walton stayed right with it defensively. Traveling. Lanier is furious.
That really is going to upset him because he's had his pride hurt on that play when Walton blocked his shot. He said, I want to go right back at him. Here it is again. He'll double pump. Walton does not leave his feet, makes a good block here. And then when the ball came right back, here's what they call him for traveling. He double pumped. I thought he was fouled, and you couldn't see his feet on it, but perhaps he got away with it.
Wicks on the left. Shot clock inside of 8 seconds now. Free up at 6, just short, and Walton snaps the rebound.
Boy, that was with authority.
6:30 third. 4-point Clipper lead. Buckner and Walton pops out on him. Of course, they wanted him near because Free had to go back on Big Bob.
Here's a play a minute ago. Watch him rebound, go down, back up, and slam it down with the right hand.
So we got a timeout here in San Diego at 6:23 in the third. 66-62 is our situation. We'll be right back.
This is the remote control for RCA's incredible new special effects VCR. Selectivision 625 with slow motion, fast forward, stop action, and the maximum record time available, 6 hours. Only RCA has Selectivision 625. Special effects, now in a 6-hour VCR. Let RCA turn your television into Selectivision.
The flat. Last year it happened 53 million times to people who should have had Uniroyal's new puncture sealing radio, the Royal Seal. Watch. Inside this steel-belted radio, Uniroyal's revolutionary puncture sealant automatically surrounds and seals most tread punctures permanently. Uniroyal's new Royal Seal, built not to leave you flat. For the quality tire that's tougher than nails, you want Uniroyal there.
There's a paper explosion going on. It's an insurmountable problem, but Federal Express has an easy solution. We can take the paper that has to get somewhere fast and take it off your back. Documents, contracts, reports, whatever. So for as little as $17, we can pick up the stuff on your desk and have it cleared across the country on somebody else's desk overnight. Federal Express, when it absolutely positively has to be there overnight.
Saturday on the CBS Sports Spectacular, we'll bring you exclusive coverage of Holland's Hilbert van der Duem's upset victory over USA's Eric Heiden in the 1,500-meter World Speed Skating Championships. That's next Saturday on the CBS Sports Spectacular.
San Diego under new coach Bob Bass leading Cleveland by a point in the third. We'll be seeing the Iceman, George Gervin, next Sunday in our game of the week against the Philadelphia 76ers. Chicago leading Portland by 5, that game in the third. And Seattle driving back toward the top of the Pacific Division heap, taking care of Utah. Utah just can't operate with their radio announcer working with us. And there is Marques Johnson, total of 9 points. He had 3 field goals early in this game and has had 1 field goal since. He has been relatively quiet. There he is rebounding, pressuring. Nader there with him. Couldn't get it to fall. And it goes out of bounds and go over. Richard Washington, number 31, has just checked in. Shooting now for the Clippers 47% and the Bucks 48% for the game.
Nader did a good job there, Brent, defensively. He didn't let Marques get that field goal. When he leaned into him, he backed away, so there was no contact made. Good defensive play.
And here is Nader going to work against Richard Washington. Still another UCLA duel.
I can remember in college asking Bill Walton, who was the best player you played against? He said Swin Nader. And Nader was his backup man at that time at UCLA.
Elvin through Lanier. Rolls up the hook. Taylor to the right side to Wicks. Walton will jump it up a little bit, too much spin.
He's going to shoot himself out of the slump.
Behind his back, gave it to Lanier, he'll take it. Walton is off the outlet to 3, and Marques was back on defense. Clippers are up by 4, 5:08 to go in the third. Free jumps it back to Taylor. 3-point try is no good. And quickly, Buckner leads the Bucks down, and Lanier with the break, and Walton and Marques Johnson plays out.
That's an incredible block Walton made on that shot, cleanly. However, they were there for the follow-up. Watch this block. A perfect feed, and Walton, with his back turned, regained his defensive position and blocked that shot, and then Marques tipped it down.
Nader wants Wicks to come up over to the right. Here's free. Shot clock at 5, 4. Traveling. It'll go to the Bucks, who can tie it as Junior Bridgman and Marvin Barnes check in. Bridgman for Don Nelson's Milwaukee Bucks, with Brian Winters going out.
What Quinn Buckner's doing a good job on Lloyd Free, and the reason is it's not that he's stealing the ball or blocking shots, but he's not giving Lloyd Free any easy baskets. See, the guys that score that much, they have 4 or 5 baskets a game that are easy baskets. And what you try to do defensively is to make them work for every shot. And if they have to work for every shot, the percentage has to go down from 1 to 3, or maybe as high as 12%. If you get that, then you're playing good defense.
Wicks stayed right with Marques, even helped out on the double team. So Sidney's been working hard in this one.
Freeman Williams is back in for San Diego. Brent, he made 6 out of 8 shots in the first half.
Out of bounds. Milwaukee thinks they should have control right now. Nelson pleading. But the Clippers keep it, and Swinnator will throw the inbounds pass.
Well, you know, Don Nelson was talking to the referee, and he said, have you noticed how the stock market is fluctuating this time of year?
Free with a three-pointer from the corner. Puts them up now by 5.
That's normally out of his range. As great a shooter as he is, he doesn't take too many three-point tries.
It's Brian Taylor who will shoot the three-pointers for him on this team.
And Freeman Williams.
Foul down inside, away from the ball. It's against Nader with Walton watching on. 3:34 to go in the third. They'll rest Bill now for the stretch in the 4th period.
You know, when you're talking to that guy on an interview, he jumps around. You have to chase him with a mic, Walton. He's always just rigidly all the way around.
Now Marques starting to feel his offensive touch. And that would cause Gene Shue no end of problems. 71-68, 3:19. Nader is out high for the screen. Wicks with the ball. They'll come through Nader. Nader will look in, and Harvey Catchings will give Bob Lanier a break. 6 on the shot, loose. Going to go to Milwaukee, and Sidney Wicks has got it back. We're going to jump it up. Sidney Wicks on the floor for a loose ball.
Now, what does that mean?
Didn't mean a thing. I just was making an observation.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yes.
Sure you were.
We detected.
Bob Lanier will take a break.
That old Sidney did mopped her up. Got the ball boy out there to wipe the floor up. That was fine hustle by Sidney. He lost it, and then the ball squirted right back to him, and he dove on it. Jump ball.
2 UCLA greats. All world runs it down. Saying, get out of my way, here I come. Knocked away by Buckner, and again, Bill doing the job that you were talking about.
Well, what he tries to do more than anything is to throw his rhythm off so that he doesn't shoot as well.
And he is doing just that. We got a timeout in San Diego. Don't forget our heavyweight weekend on the Spectacular.
That's Coach Johnson. He's from the college. Looks like he's worried about his problem dandruff. I wish he'd ask me.
Mr. Owens, I need a shampoo.
Ever tried Tegrin?
Can it really work on my itching and flaking?
Well, in a national survey, 3 out of 4 dermatologists judged Tegrin's medication effective in fighting even problem dandruff.
I'll give it a tryout.
Hey, how's that dandruff problem?
Tegrin's a winner, Mr. Owens.
Prove it to yourself. Tegrin works.
You're the Pepsi generation, the spirit of today. And with every taste of life that's new, well, that Pepsi spirit shines right through. Catch that Pepsi spirit. Drink it in, drink it in, drink it in. Catch that Pepsi spirit. Drink it in, drink it in, drink it in. A big green football team, an endless yellow sea, a cherry pie, an orange sky, the bluest eyes you'll ever see. Yes, America's true colors come through on GE.
GE TV brings you America's colors vivid and lifelike, and our special VIR2 circuit adjusts the color automatically.
Yes, America's true colors come through on GE. GE, we bring good things to life.
Next Sunday, Dr. J tries to perform major surgery on the Iceman.
You'll say you saw it on CBS Sports.
So next Sunday, we'll be deep in the heart of Texas. San Antonio Spurs against the Philadelphia 76ers. Our NBA Game of the Week on CBS. And Bob Lanier watching. How you doing, Big Bob? You know, you mentioned Lloyd Free, Hot Rod. 3-pointers. He's only 3 of 13. That's less than 20%. And Brian Taylor has taken 204 3-point attempts. Wicks on the drive, and Washington met him, and Sidney was fouled. Hey, Sidney Wicks laced him up real tight today, didn't he?
He made a great move. And his partner, Marvin Barnes, slapped his hand with encouragement, said, that's a great move. Way to go to the basket. And Catchings got the foul. The first step, gave him a good fake and drove left. Of course, Sidney right-handed wanted to dunk the ball, and he got fouled.
There was a span up in Portland when I thought Sidney Wicks was the best forward in all of basketball for a time.
He averaged 24 with Portland.
And then it kind of all fell apart. Wonder what happened to him, Bill.
Got older.
Buckner attacks for Milwaukee. Washington and Barnes reached in and fouled him, and the San Diego bench doesn't like that call.
You're always a little more responsive when the foul occurs in front of your bench. For some reason, they'll get on the referee with a little more effort.
There's Marvin, number 27. He's out there with Wicks right now, and Nader, and Free, and here comes Sidney Moncrief, and Quinn Buckner did a nice job.
Did you know that Joe Crawford, the referee, his daddy was Shag Crawford?
One of the great umpires in National League history.
Right.
Washington a little deep on that free throw, bounced off the iron. Here's another player who appeared to have all the talent in the world and has never lived up to his billing in the NBA. Traded by Kansas City to Milwaukee and played pretty well. I believe it was in Phoenix on this trip for Don Nelson. Free goes to work on Moncrief. Double team. Barnes is short and all green. 73-69. Clippers lead the Bucks. Away from the ball. And it's against Wicks. There is a player over on that San Diego bench who is so deep in the doghouse that I don't think he'll be found for another month.
Needs a ladder to see the bottom.
Bingo Smith. Is Bingo over there?
He was out here shooting around before the game.
Where is he? Can someone find Bingo? There he is. I knew he was in the arena.
Didn't he give him a good seat to watch the game? He's clear down on the end.
He was a starter a week ago.
He's had a pretty good career, too, in particular with Cleveland all those years.
Wicks out, and a nice round of applause here as Weatherspoon checks in. Washington is simply deep on those free throws, hitting that back iron. Free was hit, and we're going to get an injury timeout.
That's going to happen when you dribble that ball like that. We'll take a look at it again. Watch Weatherspoon set the screen. He puts a little elbow out into Bridgman, and then he got through the screen and bumped him right there with the right hand to get the 20-second injury timeout for Lloyd Free. Another look. Switching defense, and he slapped him right in the face. May have cut his nose, Brent, but he'll be all right.
No harm, no foul.
Come on, boy, let's play.
Tough kids from Brooklyn, they don't need those injury timeouts. Come on, rub a little asphalt on it. Let's go.
You see, that was as much for the referee's sight as it was to get the free throws. Say, you said the guy that hit me, but here I am bleeding.
Here he comes right back at him.
Right down inside, not hurt at all. That's big hoop, 75-69, back to 6 now, 148. And here's Sidney Moncrief out of Arkansas. Sends it to Washington, went to the right baseline, and Richard puts it down.
Pretty good move for a big man. Made a nice dribble to the right, pulled up, had the perfect position for the jump shot, straight up.
Got Bridgman, Catchings, Washington working up front. Winters and Moncrief in the backcourt. Moncrief trying to stick with Free, and on the turnover, it'll go to the Bucks. And they can pull to within 2 if they can convert here. Nelson signals the play from the sideline.
He made a good move there, Brent. Lloyd did. He penetrated, but when he dished the ball off, he threw it too hard.
It's going to be Bridgman coming around through the screen on Washington. Back now to within 2. That play worked beautifully. They had set Bridgman on the left side of the key. Then they sent him around and popped him out on a screen on the other side. Just as diagrammed.
Nader, right. If he was diagrammed, it was just a diagram. We got a free throw also.
Oh, Barnes inside. Drew the foul from Catchings.
He turned his back there. He should have had a field goal there, Brett. He was much bigger than the man that fouled him on the play. Barnes is like 6'8". And as he went to the basket, got the foul from the left side on a good feed. Tried to lay it up as he turned his body away from the defensive man.
Marvin's going to write a book on coaches I have known. He's played for 7 different coaches in 6 years. Gene Shue, Dave Cowens, Tom Heinsohn, Herb Brown, Cotton Fitzsimmons, Rod Thorne, and Bob McKinnon. No Bill Russell on that list.
What I want to find out is, are those coaches still with those same teams
Let's
that
see.
they were when he was playing for them?
Just one of them. Just two. The one he's playing for now. It's a 4-point Clipper lead, and we're inside of a minute. And Clippers have got it back, and Williams with a 3-point try. Rims it in and out. Washington. 43 seconds.
Yeah, a lot of people think that was a bad shot because he didn't wait on his teammates. However, if he had made it, it would have really lit up the scoreboard here for him.
Catchings, rebounds, the winner, 3-pointer. Washington up over the top, trying to tap it in, and it was offensive foul. Came up over the back. And it's going to go down to the Clippers at 29 seconds of the third period. Barnes takes a rest.
Jelly Bean Joe Bryant comes on for the first time.
They do have a lot of free spirits on this team.
They sure do.
Well, that's in keeping with the setting. San Diego is surfboard capital of the world, that kind of thing, you know, where everybody is free spirit.
The team of last resorts. Nader at the free throw line with a pair here for the Clippers, and they're up by 5.
What I want to know is, how does Gene Shue keep his hair so dark with this club losing all these games and whatever, and he hasn't been playing that well, yet he hasn't aged at all? I don't understand that, Russ.
Well, you see what happened. He's really gray. His hair is all white. And where most people, their hair turns white, his is turned the other way.
Now
so when his gets completely black, he'll just pass out.
Oh, gee, we'll hear from him.
Waiters bringing the clock down. Bryant's watching Washington. Bridgman's out. 5 on the shot. 4. And a whistle.
High foul.
Witherspoon.
Right. Bridgman at 6'6". Now, he can handle the ball well, can dribble, and he made a good reverse move there to get the foul. We're in the penalty, both clubs, with 10 seconds left in the quarter. John Killalay, who's done an excellent job as the assistant coach with Milwaukee. Always keeps his scoreboard there with him. All his stats, X's and O's, phone numbers, whatever.
The Boston influence.
Flight numbers.
Yeah, flight numbers.
John Nelson and John Killalay, both with the Celtics. Killalay was the assistant under Tommy Heinsohn when Nelson was a player. Killalay was the assistant coach the last time the Celtics won a championship. And Lloyd Free comes across the timeline. 2 seconds. 1 second. 3-pointer. Off and no good. It's 79-75. So still to come is the best quarter of them all. 4th quarter and an down to the Clippers at 29 seconds of the third period. Barnes takes a rest.
Jelly Bean Joe Bryant comes on for the first time.
They do have a lot of free spirits on this team.
They sure do.
Well, that's in keeping with the setting. San Diego is surfboard capital of the world, that kind of thing, you know, where everybody is free spirit.
The team of last resorts. Nader at the free throw line with a pair here for the Clippers, and they're up by 5.
What I want to know is, how does Gene Shue keep his hair so dark with this club losing all these games and whatever, and he hasn't been playing that well, yet he hasn't aged at all? I don't understand that, Russ.
Well, you see what happened. He's really gray. His hair is all white. And where most people, their hair turns white, his is turned the other way.
Now
so when his gets completely black, he'll just pass out.
Oh, gee, we'll hear from him.
Waiters bringing the clock down. Bryant's watching Washington. Bridgman's out. 5 on the shot. 4. And a whistle.
High foul.
Witherspoon.
Right. Bridgman at 6'6". Now, he can handle the ball well, can dribble, and he made a good reverse move there to get the foul. We're in the penalty, both clubs, with 10 seconds left in the quarter. John Killalay, who's done an excellent job as the assistant coach with Milwaukee. Always keeps his scoreboard there with him. All his stats, X's and O's, phone numbers, whatever.
The Boston influence.
Flight numbers.
Yeah, flight numbers.
Don Nelson and John Killalay, both with the Celtics. Killalay was the assistant under Tommy Heinsohn when Nelson was a player. Killalay was the assistant coach the last time the Celtics won a championship. And Lloyd Free comes across the timeline. 2 seconds. 1 second. Three-pointer. Off and no good. It's 79-75. So still to come is the best quarter of them all. Fourth quarter in an NBA game. San Diego, Milwaukee.
You dance on a river of wood, and the spinning shapes in the cold, dark water are your only bridge home. So you keep on dancing until the last log is in place and you can head for Miller time. Time for the best-tasting beer you can find, Miller High Life.
When it's time to relax, we've got the beer, Miller beer. If you've got the time, we've got the beer.
The NBA on CBS will continue after this word from your local station.
Monday on WKRP, Jennifer and Andy pose as bathing beauties, but the photographer has another angle.
How nude is she?
A special 1-hour WKRP Monday.
This is CBS.
Back in San Diego for the fourth period, and Bill Walton will start off the period with the Clippers. I'm Brent Musburger with Bill Russell and Hot Rod Hundley. Glad you could join us this afternoon for this, the NBA doubleheader game today on CBS. Earlier, the Los Angeles Lakers were beaten by the Phoenix Suns. You're looking at Sidney Moncrief, sent it back to Junior Bridgman. Bridgman short, off Richard Washington's hands. It's going to go to the Clippers, who lead it 79-75.
It was like a fly ball hit right in his hands, and Washington dropped it. I think you can believe that Bridgman was that far off on his shot.
What these two teams have done so far, they've both played pretty much the kind of game they want to play, although they have not been as effective as they would like to have been. That's why the game is close. Now, what will decide who wins this game, because it's still anybody's ball game, is which team will stick more to what they want to do and who will get control of the game in the last quarter.
There's that Bill Walton going to the jump shot. He's going to shoot himself out of the slump.
That's important that they get that first basket to start the quarter, too, Brent. They're up by 6 now, San Diego leading, and Walton with a good move.
I'd rather have the last basket in the quarter, High Rod.
Well, if
Washington looking for an open man. Knocked away by Witherspoon. Loose ball. Bridgman's got it, and on the right, he'll come up with that shot right in the middle. Don Nelson told him during the timeout, start flashing into the middle. I think we can get open. And here comes Moncrief flashing down on Walton.
Boy, he went right at him. That rookie doesn't realize who he's challenging, perhaps.
He came right up on Kareem Abdul-Jabbar Friday night. He went right up over the top of him. He can sky.
You notice that Walton never even attempted to put a hand up. I guess he realized that Moncrief was going to take it all away and jam it, knocked away.
He says he's been hurt enough.
That's right, so go on in and take it away.
Walton comes right back shooting, and the hook shot off balance. Bridgman runs it down, saves it. Here's Washington. Marques Johnson to return. Now the Bucks come down, shooting for the tie. 81-79. Bridgman puts it on the floor, comes around, catches. Walton jumps out on the switch. He'll stay with him. Bridgman flashes in the middle again. Tied at 81 and 10-17, and here we go again. The NBA Game of the Week on CBS. We've been tied 10 times here in San Diego this afternoon. Taylor looks. Catching's pressuring Walton. Williams penetrates. And Walton with a good offensive rebound. Came up, drew the foul. Chance for a three-pointer.
Well, he waited just enough, Brent. He bent over and waited a split second to get the defenders to commit themselves, and then he went up, laid it in. We'll look at it again. The rebound to Walton. He'll bend, fake right there, and he got 2 of them to jump. Then he went right back up, softly put the ball away, and he's fouled by Catchings, his 5th. And a moment ago, Moncrief. Watch him go over Walton, who backs away and lets him go to the hoop. He jams it down.
You know, that's an intelligent move by Walton. No use contesting that.
That's right. He would have fouled him. Perhaps somebody might have been hurt on the play, too, because Moncrief was really up in the air.
Absolutely. Lanier comes in because, as Hot Rod told you, Catchings playing with 5. Lanier with 3 fouls. Walton with 3 now. At 9:58, 84-81. Clippers leading by 3 as a result of the Walton play. Williams going out after Moncrief in the ball. Bridgman into Lanier. Lanier comes up and Walton blocked him again in the outlet. Intended for Williams and Moncrief with that quickness intercepted. Moncrief negotiates and dishes off to Marques Johnson from the side. High on the top. Wicks is off now to Williams. Down the middle was Bryant. Williams coming in on Junior Bridgman.
No shot. Here's that block a moment ago. Super play by Bill Walton. Lanier gave him 2 fakes, but Walton wouldn't leave his feet. Went up, blocked the shot. Made a great play.
Elsewhere, 104-100 San Antonio leading Cleveland in the 4th. And Chicago and Portland are now tied. Seattle still leading Utah.
Love to watch that battle. Walton against Lanier. That's a good matchup.
Williams. Back to 5 now. Winters backing in on Taylor. Moncrief will bounce it to Lanier. Bob through the lane with the hook shot. Drew the foul from Walton. And that is 4 on Bill.
Got him with a body on this play. They gave him a little room. Lanier, who of course is left-handed, wants to go to his right and shoot the left hand, and he got the contact with the body, not with a hand on the shot, but in the act of shooting, and Lanier will get 2 free throws. Walton not happy with the call.
Big Bob Lanier steps to the free throw line for Milwaukee.
You think he was happy, Russ?
Oh, no, he's very unhappy. In fact, every time a guy has a foul call on him, unless he's broken an arm, he's unhappy with the call.
They never make a mistake.
3-point Clipper lead, and a timeout will be called. San Diego will huddle over there around Gene Shue. 8:53 to go here in San Diego. A 3-point difference right now. And next Sunday, our game of the week, Philadelphia and San Antonio.
By trying harder to be faster, Avis came up with the Wizard of Avis.
Keep on trying, America. The effort is really everything. We keep on trying, America.
By trying harder, we introduce speed to the rent-a-car business.
At Avis, we don't give up. Trying.
Right Guard knows that in equally active situations, men and women don't perspire equally. Men perspire more. That's why men count on Right Guard. Right Guard is so strong, so effective, it helps stop a man's perspiration odor all day long. Yes, men and women don't perspire equally. And that's why men count on Right Guard. Strong, effective Right Guard. Because men perspire more.
There are 2,000 twisting, turning miles on this river, and you know them all. But the one you know best ends with Miller time.
When it's time to relax.
Time for the best tasting beer you can find.
What stands clear?
America's quality beer, Miller High Life.
How you doing there?
Did you get one? I thought we got to say
Miller beer.
It's a heavyweight weekend on the CBS Sports Spectacular. Next Saturday, former champion Leon Spinks tries to tame Eddie Animal Lopez. And on Sunday, Scott Ledoux takes on Marty Monroe.
8 minutes and 53 seconds to go in San Diego with the Clippers leading the Bucks by 3. Bill Russell, what do the Bucks have to do now as you take a look at the foul trouble? What do the Bucks have to do to get over the hump in this game? They get ever so close and they seem to fall back.
Well, right now, they've been trying to get Walton in foul trouble, and I think they've been going about it the wrong way. And they're having Lanier take him one-on-one, because that's just as much a strain on... And it goes the other way.
Just exactly.
See Lanier, well, that was Brett.
See, that's how you get a guy in foul trouble, is moving, not getting one-on-one. It's moving without the ball. And what you try to do is either get him involved in play or have that man move without the ball.
He turned in, Brett, on that play, and he said, great call. How could you call that? But he called a foul on him over the back of Walton.
Moncrief forced out to the corner, and here's Lanier from the perimeter coming up on Walton. Outside, it's a 1-point San Diego lead now as Brian Taylor calls the play. And Taylor goes in underneath with Brian Winters. Williams stays outside. They run Walton in behind Lanier, pop it to him, and he'll go to work on the turnaround. He's short, but he hustled back for the rebound. He wasn't sealed off and misfired on that shot.
He's shooting the ball too flat, Randy. The ball never got up high enough to even get in on the first shot. The second one, he was completely off balance and just wildly threw it up. Took a little more arch on his shot.
I'm surprised Lanier didn't seal him off after that first shot, Bill. He sort of broke down.
Well, you see what happened? Lanier was beaten on the original shot, and he never caught up. See, Walton, after he shot, he knew he was going to miss, and he went right after it. It's all in one move.
Offensive foul on Moncrief. Goes to the Clippers, 86-85. Clippers over the Bucks. Now Lloyd Free is back, and he'll work with Taylor in the backcourt. Moncrief and Winters. So you have a rookie in Don Nelson's backcourt right now. He has Bridgman, Johnson, and Lanier up front, and Moncrief is going to go with Free, and they go in low right now. Taylor, Bryant cut away, and on a sloppy turnover, it'll go to the Bucks, who can now go ahead for the first time since the first period, with Lanier and Marques and Coach Nelson exchanging information. Lanier and Marques. Now Bob comes out high. Bridgman's working the baseline back and forth, trying to use a screen. 7 on the shot clock. Might break down to 1-on-1 here for the Bucks. It does. Marques puts Milwaukee in front, 87-86.
Yeah, Joe Bryant all over him, too. I don't think he could have played him any better. Had his arms waving and everything.
And he hit him a couple of times.
Right, and he still drilled the shot right through. Super player, Marques Johnson.
Walton comes out. They come through, and Taylor works the baseline, and Bill goes back in down low. Lanier helps out, double team. There's an open man someplace. Wanted Joe Bryant. Ball gets away out of bounds. Going to go to Milwaukee. Quinn Buckner gives him a little more defense.
And a little more experience.
And Moncrief, the rookie, will go out. Nelson now turning to his experience. Shu has got to wonder a little bit about Joe Bryant now, if he's thinking about a substitution at that spot. Walton still ends. 6:40 now to go. Lanier will go with Walton. Bridgman looking for the pick. Screens, comes around Lanier. I'll tell you, they got to watch Bridgman on defense if you're working with that San Diego team.
And you notice how he got the field goal. He went down low and came circled right off the Bob Lanier screen, went to the free throw line and was wide open for the jump shot.
There's Bryant moving it inside that time to Walton. All right.
One thing for Big Bill, Brent, he keeps shooting the basketball, and he should. Even though he hasn't been hitting that well, you got to keep taking them if they're there.
Milwaukee is now up by a point. Bridgman seems to feel the shooting touch. They also have the great skills of Marques. Bridgman handling it, and Lanier comes over. He'll go right back on Walton, and Walton blocked it again. That's 3 times that I can remember that Lanier has stuffed Walton. I should say the other way around. Walton has stuffed Lanier.
And the foul is going to be called on Lanier, the loose ball foul. He's really frustrated here. Watch, Walton turned back, blocked the shot. Lanier had shot that ball with the right hand. I think he would have got it away, but he shot it with the left hand. And that exposed the ball, and Walton knocked it away.
Walton is out at the 5:59 mark, and that puts Nader in the middle against Lanier. With Milwaukee ahead now by a point. Free jumps it on over to Taylor. Wicks for the rebound. Saves it. Bryant moves it over to Lloyd Free now. They got a fresh 24s. The ball came off the iron. Free goes in low. Jump shot. And Lanier is off. And here comes Bridgman. He'd broken free. And now it's 91-88, and class is beginning to tell just a little bit. And what I mean by that is Milwaukee plays together, and they just hung with their game and hung with it, and now it may pay off for them. 5:22.
Also, Brent, at a time like this, a very interesting thing starts to happen. You find out a lot of things because who's taking the shots and who wants to shoot when the game is on the line.
Bryant is off. Winters went for it, knocked free. Wicks trying to save as they go out of bounds there on the Milwaukee bench, and it's going to go over to the Bucks.
It'll be a loose ball foul.
They got a foul call over there on Sidney.
So Milwaukee will get the ball. Wicks trying to block the man away and let the ball go out of bounds. Picked up the foul. One thing, San Diego is doing everything from the outside, and of course, the reason may be because Walton is not in the game at this time, and the guards start to take over the offense.
Shue apparently just had to give Bill Walton a rest. He's come back from that injury, and of course he has prescribed times when he has to get him out of the ball game. Otherwise, he'd have left him in here for the entire stretch. Buckner with a miss, and Bryant fouled by Marques Johnson as he came down with that rebound.
He got inside, and that's a good call. Marques over his back. He's a good type of player you have to keep off the boards with his great leaping ability, and Bryant did his job.
Clippers have a couple of fouls to give, only 2 team fouls against them at the 4-4 mark. The Bucks are already over the limit, so Bryant will come on up here and shoot the free throws.
You know, a lot of times the referees will call that foul when the man over the looks like he's going over the back, whether it's contact or not. It's almost an automatic call because a lot of times they don't foul; they just jump and get the ball.
Big free throw, 91-89. Gets the Clippers back to within 2.
San Diego with only 2 team fouls. That could be a factor going to the last 4:44 of the game here.
Back to within 1. Now the Bucks come down. Brian Winters has signaled the play. Richmond is still out there. He's up front of the forward. Sidney must come with him. Wicks holds him up. He couldn't come through. He was trying to get free, and now Bryant switches off on him, and it'll be Buckner. So Marques will come around now. 5 on the shot. Marques goes 1-on-1.
He fouled him, but that's a bad foul there. He was off balance, forcing the shot, and Wicks reached in and fouled him. So that's going to give Milwaukee 2 free throws.
It was good inner defense that time, Bill. Bridgman was trying to come around a screen, and they simply jammed him up with a couple of guys.
Well, everybody on San Diego knew that they were trying to get a shot for Bridgman. So what they were doing is just playing him on defense. If they had gone strong side and thrown the ball to the weak side, in other words, a cross-court pass would have got a better shot because they were trying to stop, definitely trying to stop Bridgman.
That picture needs no description. You know what's going to happen now.
He's back.
4:22.
Marques missed a big free throw there.
Shue elects to go with Walton and Nader, the combination, hoping for the size underneath that he'll keep Bryant on the floor. Bryant was over conferring with Gene. 92-90, Milwaukee leading San Diego at the 4:15 mark. Lanier keeps an eye on Walton and also checks the middle so that no one comes down on the penetration. Brian Taylor knocked out of bounds by Marques Johnson. Bryant had stationed himself over the right. Now they'll work the inbounds. Goes out to Nader and through Bill. And here is free. 5 on the shot. 4, 3. They'll have to hurry. 1. Walton as the shot clock goes off, and Nader, it didn't hit the iron.
nice pass. Walton got the shot away. The ball hit the glass. Nader grabbed it, and it is legal. He'll get a couple of free throws. Fouled when he went back up.
You don't want to know something? I thought the shot clock buzzer should have gone off on that. Walton went up at 1 and released.
Once you let it go, you have to let go of the ball before the 24 expires. If there's 1 second and he jumps, he's going to get it away, and he did.
No, he got the shot away.
But that's the rule. Once you get it away,
it was the action afterwards.
Right. The ball, it does not have to reach that basket before the 24-second clock expires. It has to expire before,
right?
On the release. Right. So it was legal all the way, and Nader grabbed it off the glass, and Walton says, I made a good pass. It wasn't a shot. And he got fouled by Bridgman when he went back up.
San Diego to within a point. 92-91. We have been tied 10 times. And now 11. Bridgman with 22 is the leading scorer. Buckner brings it up, penetrates quickly, and as he came around free, he was fouled. And that's the 4th team foul, so the Bucks will take it in out of bounds. They are at their limit. Marques Johnson will throw it inbound. Buckner comes from behind Bridgman. Nader will be checking.
with Lanier. Walton is out there with Marques, and Marques puts him quick on him.
Marques looked at Bill Walton and just smiled.
He said, I got you, boy.
Out here, big fella. This is my territory.
That's what Marques does better than anything offensively, is get to the glass inside. If he has any deficiency, it's as an outside perimeter shooter, and that's been coming along. They leave Taylor open as Winter comes over. Three-point try is off, and Lloyd Free offensive rebound. He'll go in with the left hand and score it.
Basketball count. Free was fouled on the way to the basket. What a rebound play he made. Up high, pulled it down right there, went to the basket, exchanged to the left hand. I got the foul from Lanier. He is gone. That's 6 on Big 5. 6 fouls, he's out of the game. And just the great leaping ability of Lloyd Free. Got that shot away and the rebound that started the whole play.
Nelson's still complaining. Lanier leaves with a total of 18 points. And Nelson still barking away now at Rakel. There's no time to get a technical in a game like this.
Here's how high he goes for the rebound. Watch Lloyd Free right there, way up. Grabbed that ball and went in. And Lanier moves into him as he moved the ball to his left hand to protect the shot, and he got the foul. Excellent move.
If Lanier had tried to play defense with his right hand, then he might not have gotten that foul, because he had to reach across.
I knew there was a weakness with left-handed players.
Well, you have to use both hands. You really do. Offense and defense. A lot of guys can shoot with either hand, but they can only play defense with one hand. And that gets you a lot of fouls that you wouldn't ordinarily get, or you shouldn't get.
Free shooting for the tie right now. All knotted up at 94. 3:19 to go as Lloyd Free scores for the first time in the fourth period. Winters comes around. David Myers, who is out there catching Bridgman. Myers out, swatted away by Joe Bryant. Off to Free. Free coming in. Bridgman swings inside of the left hand. Tie back in.
Joe Bryant is really giving him a lift. Wow.
They get a little noisy in here.
He made the block on the defense, came back and got the tip in. Joe Bryant.
Bridgman pops out. Walton rebounds. Off to Taylor. Taylor lead to Free. Free's pass intercepted on the turnover. He turned it over 10 times Tuesday night, and Bridgman with a one-hand drew the foul. Pretty play coming through.
Basket will count. Here's the drive in by Myers, blocked by Joe Bryant. I think going down at the other end, it was Lloyd Free spinning in the lane. He'll put the shot up. Watch Joe Bryant, number 23, tip it in with the right hand. Beautifully done. We got a timeout with a score tie.
This could have turned out much worse, but I have enough Allstate homeowners insurance so our house can be built again. But if I had died here, it would have been a real disaster. My wife couldn't have afforded the mortgage payments. She probably would have had to sell. That's why I'm getting Allstate Mortgage Protection Life Insurance. It'll help them have a debt-free home if I die. This time I was lucky. I'm still alive.
Do you have both homeowners and mortgage protection life insurance? You're in good hands with Allstate.
Deep in the woods, as the Craigs sleep, a pasty film covers their mouths. They wake with the worst breath of the day.
Morning. Scope, honey?
Honey Spide.
Yours leaves your breath medicine-y, not minty like Scope.
Mine kills germs.
Scope kills germs.
Come on.
Try.
Minty
And
kills germs. Morning.
Scope fights bad breath, doesn't give medicine breath.
7 copiers not only make great copies, they also make great copy.
Financial World. Its Series 700 models are proven winners. Forbes. Savin 750 copier was an overnight success. Sales and marketing management. Savin in 1 year raced from a standing start to first place in installing machines.
In fact, last year Savin outplaced Xerox and IBM combined. We wouldn't be winning over big business unless we offered big advantages. Savin, the revolutionary copiers that are winning over big business.
Next Sunday, Dr. J tries to perform major surgery on the Iceman.
You'll say you saw it on CBS Sports.
2 minutes and 27 seconds to go. Milwaukee and San Diego are even, and on that play, Sidney Wicks fouled out. He joins Bob Lanier on the sideline. Wicks is out for the Clippers and Lanier for the Bucks. Don Nelson's Bucks come back, deadlocked, and he will send Myers, Marques, Johnson, Bridgman, Catchings, who has replaced Lanier, and Winters out. And on the floor for Gene Shue will be Taylor, Bryant, Free, Walton, and Nater. And Joe Bryant, who did not play in the first half, has certainly given the Clippers a lift here down the stretch. As Junior Bridgman, the game's high point man, now with 25 points. And as soon as he released, he knew it. He just backed off. Three-point play has put Milwaukee back in front, 97-96. Marques is with Bryant. Taylor goes into Nader. Nader had it blocked. David Myers right there, and here comes Brian Winters. Just inside of 2 minutes now. Marques Johnson maneuvering against Bryant. And they go up by 3, 99-96, and a key field goal and timeout.
Take a look at the block a moment ago, and Nader's shot down low. Dave Myers, number 7, behind him, will get the block. Later turns to the baseline left. Right there, perfect block. Excellent timing on the defense. Big play that keeps Milwaukee in front by 3.
Let's check some final scores. Cleveland down San Antonio, 123-119. The Spurs now slip under 500. And Chicago beats Portland. The other way around. Portland over Chicago, 110-107. And that puts pressure on San Diego. And Seattle goes back into first place in the Pacific Division. The Lakers lost earlier today to Phoenix. So Seattle once again top the Pacific Division, and Gene Shue goes to the drawing board.
Boyd, you're going to be on the weak side. All right, so now if we're going to look to post up Bill. The guard goes down, he's on the baseline, 5 pins down. All right, so he comes off. We look to make the pass and post up Bill. If it's not open, we swing the ball to the guard. Just two. That's weak side. Boy. Now swing, make sure you kind of like step in. And then Joe, you finish up what we're doing, all right? So we have strong side Bill, weak side Boyd. All right, any problems? When they come back down at us, you can't foul. You got to play good defense as a team. Here's weak sides. This is you swing. Joe is the center on this. I'm pinning down on this. Right, you're pinning down. All right. Tough defense now as the drive. Tough defense.
Gene Shue said the first man who gets to the organ player turn his volume down.
Right. But you guys will listen to me. One point he made, we can't foul when they come back down. Both teams are in the penalty, and that means you would automatically get 2 free throws if you commit that foul. And they're being down by 3. San Diego's going to have to play good, tight defense after they give this ball up. And, of course, they need a basket right here.
Little too early to think about the three-pointer, although San Diego certainly has the outside bombers in there. Williams has joined Free in the backcourt. Swin Nader's a leading rebounder with 13. They can throw up a perimeter shot. Lanier is out, and then go for the rebound inside. Meantime, Myers and Marques Johnson and Harvey Catchings may have something to say about that. A 3-point Milwaukee lead inside of 144. Bryant will come through Walton, will go over Catchings, and it's a 1-point game.
You notice how he faked like he was going to come out and set a screen, and then he rolled right in and got possession. Bill Walton got the ball and turned and scored.
Now Bridgman is working in the backcourt. Myers cut off, and Bryant with another devastating defensive play sealed them up. Bryant tried to come with Marques. Nader switches off, doesn't get the roll, went back in, and they're screaming. And they were over the cylinder that time. Winters to the floor and Free to the attack, and Freeman Williams with a three-pointer. Tap back and off, and it's Lloyd Free, but there's a whistle.
There'll be a foul on Joe Bryant, and that was Catchings that got that tip in at the far end for Milwaukee. Harvey Catchings, big play. Bryant crashed the boards there, Brent, to get that foul. And Gene Shue really unhappy with the call. So here's your penalty situation, and Marques Johnson will get 2 free throws. Milwaukee up by 3, and you only got a minute and 3 seconds left in the game.
Shoe is still up. Complaining to Rakel. Now he goes back. Johnson at the line. Short.
That's a big free throw. They needed both of them.
They sure did.
If they got both of them, then the three-pointer is a different situation.
Missed both of them, and Walton gets it away after Catchings touched it. It goes to the Clippers. 1 minute to go. 101-98. And now you would think they might try the bomber and go for. A minute to go. San Diego with possession and trailing Milwaukee by 3 points. Don Nelson sends the Bucks back out to set up their defense. And what do you think Gene Shue might do here, Bill Russell?
Go down and shoot. No, I don't think they're going to go for a three-point yet. The three-point is when you get down under 30 seconds and you're 3 points behind. I think that you got so much time in a minute that you don't want to go for a three-point, not yet.
Well, here's Taylor. Williams goes inside. He's got all three of those guards out there right now, and Myers jumping out over Walton. It's going to go over now.
Walton knocked it out of bounds. That's correct. That's a good call. Gene Shue again does not like it, but Walton got the last hand on it. Milwaukee in good position now. 47 seconds left in the game.
They'll run down the shot clock this time, leading it by 3. They'll bring it down inside close to 10. That's the time left in the game. The shot clock is at 11 right now. Offensive foul is called. And Rakel tells Myers to stay away. And Myers is eyeballing Swin Nader.
And now, Brent, they're going to have to look for that three-point field goal try. 36 seconds left in the game. Down by 3.
Here it is at 33 seconds. Trailing by those 3. Lloyd Free takes it right inside, goes up.
Charging.
Charging is the call. He was looking for the three-point play. He wanted the foul on the layup. That was the strategy that time.
Here it is again.
Drive. Here he is. He went for the layup up high, and they called him for charging.
That was a good call,
and
Brent.
It was Harvey Catchings who jumped in there and established position and took the charge, and it was a very smart play by Catchings. He recognized what Lloyd was going to do and jumped in.
Not for 1 year, or even for 2, but for 3 years in a row. One 19-inch color TV has challenged America's biggest sellers, RCA and Zenith. And every year, independent surveys show the Sylvania Superset, the clear winner for best overall color picture. Isn't it time you found out why Sylvania keeps winning and winning and winning? The Sylvania Superset. We may not be the biggest, but a lot of people think we've got the best picture.
You work hard for your money and you want to do the right things with it. So get professional answers to confusing financial questions like these.
I've got about $1,000 to invest. I've heard about savings certificates, government notes, and other things. I'm single. What's best for me?
What's best for you? Your full-service bank has the answers.
We paid the mortgage on our house down to a small amount, while the market value of the house skyrocketed. Would it be smart at our age to remortgage and use the money in some other way?
There's a lot to consider. But once again, see your full-service bank. They've got the answers.
On our vacation, we're going to look for a condominium.
Yeah, but how'll I make the down payment away from home?
When you need answers to questions like these and the services to back them up, you've got them when you bank behind this symbol. America's full-service banks, we've got the answers.
Give me a 4 count. In your mind, David, give me a 4 count. If you haven't got rid of it, time.
Now, what Don Nelson just did was refresh a play they've already worked on and they're totally familiar with. This is not like diagramming a play the last second. This just refreshed the memory of the guys so they know exactly what play they're running and who he wants handling the ball from what position in that particular play.
And Milwaukee has to go ahead, try to get themselves a good shot in this situation. They're up by 3. They cannot expire the clock. 31 seconds to go. They got 24 on the shot. Now the clock starts. Now the Clippers want to try to hold him off with some tough defense, not foul him if they can, but still play just tight enough to influence a miss in this situation if they can. That is critical.
They'll get the ball back, Brent. 10 seconds on the shot clock, 16 on the game.
Marques sends it back to Myers. Over into the corner. Now the shot's at 2. Throws up 1, and time for San Diego. They've got 6. They've got to hurry. They've got to get the 3-pointer. They move it to 3 out of bounds. Bill Walton overlet him coming down. Free was going to set up and take the 3-point shot, and Bill just whipped it out of bounds from the wing as he came down that time.
Boy, he threw that one like a rifle, too. I mean, it was really moving.
So Milwaukee has beaten San Diego. The Bucks stick with their game and win 101-98. Bill Russell, I'd have to say that they did exactly what you felt they should do. For Hot Rod Hundley and Bill Russell, I'm Brent Musburger saying so long from San Diego. We'll see you next Sunday in San Antonio. The NBA on CBS is a presentation of CBS Sports.
This is CBS.